It is the most beautiful day of the 2009 baseball season. Sunshine and into the 70s, and the Cubs have decided to throw a party today, honoring two of the greatest players who ever put on a Cubs uniform, two of the greatest right-handed pitchers in the history of the game itself, Ferguson Jenkins and Greg Maddux. Their number 31 will be retired today, and you will see the ceremony live right here on WGN. Good afternoon, Dan Roan at Wrigley Field. It is great to have you along for this special afternoon, preceding the game between the Cubs and the Marlins a little bit later on. The jersey retirement ceremony for Ferguson Jenkins and Greg Maddux. Of course, Maddux will be in the Hall of Fame 5 years down the road. Fergie is already in the Hall of Fame, a guy who 6 times in his career at Wrigley won 20 games in a single season, and said to us that although he was not drafted by the Cubs, he feels that this is where his career began.
I think every young man kind of struggles at the beginning. I probably consider myself a thrower when I first came to the big leagues in '65. I think after the first year I won 20 games, I became a pitcher. Learning the art of pitching is something you can't teach, and by self-control, I think you learn it on your own, and it's in its inward confidence. So after the '67 season, I became a pitcher.
2 out. There's a tap down to Pepitone. Attaboy, Joe. The ball is over.
My mother was kind of that inspiration. She said, son, if you go out there, let's start what you finish. And this is the kind of mindset I had as a youngster. And when I came to the Cubs, Leo kind of reinforced that. We didn't have a very strong bullpen. So there'd be lots of times he'd be walking past me in the dugout, and he'd go, hey, big fella, don't look for help today, or we're going to give the bullpen a day's rest. And this is the reason why I had a lot of complete ball games.
Fergie, a pitch away from his 20th victory. He got it. That's it. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 7 strikeouts for Fergie. There's number 20 of the year for the 6th consecutive year.
Leo wanted to try to win a series a lot of times. And if we were on the road, we had 4 games against San Diego or 4 against the Cardinals. You know, that was part of what it was all about. And I love pitching. I had a rubber arm, and I didn't mind going out there. And I've told a lot of people, I recall once or maybe even twice on the road, I started 3 games in a week, Monday, Thursday, Sunday, and people go, get out of here. Hey, I did it. It's documented. But, I mean, the nice thing about it is I love pitching. I love to go out there and perform. And as a pitcher, we had a 4-man rotation. You had to sit around and wait before you pitched again. A little different than pitching out of the bullpen.
Here's the pitch. He got it, Gary Templeton! The 3,000th strikeout of his career. Gary Templeton goes down swinging. And Ferguson Jenkins being congratulated, throws the baseball into the dugout. All of his teammates coming out to shake his hand.
Coming back to Chicago again in '82, new players. Rhino was a rookie. Lee Smith. There was so many guys. Let me think. Jody Davis and Keith Moreland. I mean, younger players. I was kind of the senior player on the team at 38, and all these young men were 22, 23. It was fun. I had the nickname Pops, which I didn't mind, but, you know, after a while, everybody calls you Pops. You go, well, I'm not quite that old, guys. But, you know, the nice thing about it, coming back to Wrigley Field where it all started, I enjoyed it. It's going to mean a lot because I had a chance to play with these other athletes, and great guys, great ball players on the field, off the field. And I've known them quite a few years, Billy, Ronnie, and Ernie especially, back in the 60s, and Rhino in the 80s. I think it's going to be a great day for both Greg and myself. I'm hoping that Greg's going to enjoy it, because I am. Because the fact that the 10 years I played here, the fans have been outstanding to me. It's going to be outstanding to see your number fly on that flagpole, because this is basically where my career started in Chicago. Even though I signed with the Phillies, this is where I got team support, fan support. This is where I won most of my ball games in a Chicago uniform.
The great Ferguson Jenkins. And when we come back to Wrigley Field, you'll hear from the other number 31 being honored today, Greg Maddux.
WWE superstars.
Hustle, loyalty, respect. That is the code in which I live by. Every time I step between these ropes, I give every single bit that I have. No one in the
expect everything.
Are you paying more than $1.70 a month for phone service? Then you need Magic Jack for just $19.95 a year. $19.95 a year. We are now adding over 250,000 new customers a month because we give you free local and long distance, your own phone number, voicemail, and directory assistance. Replace your phone company or add a second line with Magic Jack for just $19.95 a year. Get Magic Jack at Walmart.
I was matched with Dave. When I pulled up his profile, I just remember going, wow.
It was almost like you could sense her energy through her profile.
At eHarmony, our in-depth questionnaire lets us get to know the real you, so we can match you with other singles on far deeper levels than other dating sites.
It was different in the fact that we were very connected. I felt like I was meeting somebody that I already kind of knew.
It was almost like we knew each other, but we just hadn't seen each other.
Mm-hmm. Let eHarmony help find the love of your life. Get started today with your free personality profile at eHarmony.com.
One number, two legends, 31 retired is brought to you by Budweiser. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. Pepsi, every generation refreshes the world. Visit refresheverything.com. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Dodge dealers. To find the dealer nearest you and information on all Dodge vehicles, visit DodgeRockChicago.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Travel Southwest Airlines for business and get where you need to go on time. Visit Southwest.com today.
Back at Wrigley Field, Dan Roan, we have already heard from Ferguson Jenkins, and now time to hear from Greg Maddux as we get ready for the ceremony set to begin in just a couple of minutes. Greg Maddux, one of the most humble baseball players I've had the pleasure to have known in covering the Cubs for almost 30 years. And Greg is certainly humbled again by the ceremony that's about to take place here today.
You know, it's pretty cool. It's a tremendous honor, you know, to be able to share it with Fergie is also amazing. And, you know, I'm just very grateful that the Cubs thought enough of me to, you know, to do something like this. I think it's going to be pretty special, especially if I come back, you know, 10 or 15 years down the road and have a chance to look at it again.
The last pitch in his managerial tenure. 0-2. Bouncing ball. And the ball game is over. And Greg Maddux has won his 15th game of the year.
The one thing that I do know about baseball is you don't have to win to enjoy it. Winning definitely makes it more enjoyable, 100% more enjoyable. But you know, we didn't win those years, but it was still fun. You know, it was still fun going out there and playing the game and getting played to do something you love. I mean, it is just, you know, it's unbelievable. And you know, it'd been nice to win more than we did after '89, but you know, we were there ready to play every day. It just didn't work out for us.
Listen to this crowd. A high fly ball. Greg Maddux has won his 20th game of the year.
It was so flattering the way I was received when I came back the second time after, you know, being away for 11 years and kind of leaving on bad terms, you know, the way it was back then. And, you know, time heals all wounds, and it took a while, but to be accepted the way I was 11 years later, it's just, I mean, I can't thank the city and the fans enough.
We'd like to congratulate Greg Maddux on his becoming just the 13th pitcher ever to reach that milestone. Maddux is the first player in baseball history with 300 wins, 3,000 strikeouts, and less than 1,000 walks. Congratulations, Greg.
Tom Trebelhorn told me, you know the problem with players these days? And I said, what's that? And he said, they're always looking forward to something. They're never trying to do something today. They're always, looking forward to the next off day, the All-Star break, the end of the season. They never stop and enjoy the day that's here. And I kind of thought about it, and I did that. I did do that. I couldn't wait for off days or the All-Star break. And I started enjoying each day as it was here, and really started loving the game from that day on.
Hi, I'm Alex Boylan. Join me as I circumnavigate the globe without a penny in my pocket.
I can't sleep out on that street.
I've already seen some amazing places.
We're pretty much in the clouds.
And met incredible people.
That feeling you get at nighttime is your soul's recognition that it's finally home.
But the story isn't over.
Dude, what was that?
So catch up on what you missed with back-to-back episodes of Around the World for free. Monday nights starting at 8 East, 5 West. A WGN America original.
It took us maybe, 2 hours to give up the corporate life?
I think it took me about 10 minutes.
Running a B&B is not a desk job.
I have to climb stairs 20 to 30 times a day.
Keep moving with new Nature Made Triple Flex, newly formulated to work in as little as 7 days. With glucosamine to support cartilage health, hyaluronic acid known to lubricate joints, and chondroitin complex for fast joint comfort.
It's like a new beginning.
New Nature Made Triple Flex. Learn more at tripleflex.com. Nature Made. Fuel your greatness. Also available in liquid soft gels.
Greg Maddux and Fergie Jenkins have made their way to the home plate area, and now we join Len Casper, who's serving as Master of Ceremonies today.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we celebrate a historic moment in Chicago Cubs history as we pay tribute to two of the greatest pitchers ever to wear a Chicago Cubs uniform. Joining us here today to recognize Ferguson Jenkins and Greg Maddux's outstanding accomplishments is a group of esteemed guests. Please welcome Cubs Chairman Crane Kenny and Vice President and General Manager Jim Hendry. Here today with Fergie, please welcome his wife Lydia, longtime friend and president of the Fergie Jenkins Foundation, Carl Kovacs, and the scout who first discovered and signed Fergie, Gene Jadura. And here today with Greg, please welcome his wife Kathy, his daughter Paige, his son Chase, his mom Linda, and his dad Dave. Before we begin today's ceremony, I would also like to take a moment to welcome some of your favorite Cubs legends who are also joining us here today. His number 14 flies from the left field foul pole. Please welcome Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. You see his number 26 on the right field foul pole. Please welcome sweet swinging Billy Williams. And we cheer along with them every game on WGN Radio. His number 10 flies on the left field foul pole. Please welcome Ron Santo. And finally, he sends his best wishes, but was unable to join us today because he's busy leading the Cubs AA affiliate, the Tennessee Smokies, to victory. And by the way, they're in first place. You can see his number 23 on the right field pole. Let's hear it for Ryne Sandberg. And now I would like to introduce Cubs Chairman Crane Kenney, who will speak on behalf of the entire Cubs organization.
Thank you, Len. And welcome everyone to a special day in Cubs history. Today we honor two Cub legends with the highest honor this organization can bestow, the retirement of their uniform numbers. The Cubs' roots trace to 1876. The dawn of baseball as our national pastime. In all the years since, only 4 numbers have been retired by this organization. Ernie Banks, Billy Williams, Ryne Sandberg, and Ron Santo are among the greatest players ever to play our game and have been embraced by our fans in the city of Chicago as defining our organization during their playing careers. Today, 2 men will join them above Wrigley Field, and the number 31 will fly forever as a tribute to 2 of the best pitchers in baseball history. Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins began his professional career in 1965. And he played 18 years in the major leagues before retiring in 1983. The very next year, future Hall of Famer Greg Maddux was drafted by the Cubs and began his remarkable 23-year career. Together, Fergie Jenkins and Greg Maddux put together 40 unbroken years of pitching excellence and provided generations of Cub fans with countless indelible baseball memories. On behalf of the entire Cubs organization and Cubs fans around the world, I want to thank Greg and Fergie for being the very best on and off the field in their service to the Chicago Cubs. We're honored and privileged to salute their accomplishments today. Thank you.
Thank you, Crane. The first gentleman we would like to introduce is the Cubs' all-time strikeout leader and leader in games started. Inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame in 1991, he was a 3-time National League All-Star. He used pinpoint control and effectively changed speeds to become the first pitcher in Major League history with over 3,000 strikeouts and fewer than 1,000 walks in a career. A diligent workhorse, his easy, uncomplicated motion helped him reach the 20-win mark in 6 consecutive years with the Cubs. He put together one of the best seasons in the modern era in 1971 when he became the first Chicago Cub to win the NL Cy Young Award with 24 wins, 325 innings, and a remarkable 30-0 complete games. And now, please welcome artist John Hanley, along with Ray Sleva from Best Buy, as they unveil a one-of-a-kind commemorative portrait of Ferguson Jenkins. And now please join me in welcoming up to the microphone Hall of Famer Ferguson Jenkins.
Thank you. Thank you very much. There's no greater honor that a player can have bestowed on him than have his number retired. During my 10 amazing years with the Chicago Cubs and playing for the Wrigley family, I enjoyed my time day in and day out. As a pitcher, I knew Wrigley Field was a hitter's ballpark, but winning games was part of what the game was all about, and I turned it into a pitcher's ballpark. These fellas behind me, Ernie, Billy, and Ronnie, playing good defense for me, scoring runs, is what the game is all about. Much of the credit goes to so many different people. I had a great catcher, Randy Hundley, Kenny Rudolph, a great double play combination in Glenn Beckert and Don Kessinger. My pitching mates, Kenny Holzman, Bill Hands, Rich Nye, and the late Joe Negro. These guys in the 60s were the guys that were winning ball games here in Wrigley Field. Having the number 31 fly with Ernie, Billy, Ronnie, and Greg, there's no better honor. I'm in good company. Greg? The city of Chicago, the Chicago fans will always have a place in my heart. By far, you are the best fans, the best knowledgeable fans. Believe me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fergie. This next gentleman won his very first big league game with the Cubs in 1986, as well as his 300th in 2004. In 1988, at the age of 22, he began a remarkable run of 17 consecutive years with 15 or more victories. He relied on his command, composure, and shrewdness to outwit hitters. There's an interesting connection between Greg Maddux and Fergie Jenkins. Like Fergie, Greg struck out over 3,000 and walked under 1,000. In fact, he walked 999. You retired at the right time, Greg. Over his 23-year career, he established himself as the greatest pitcher of his generation, earning 4 Cy Young Awards, 8 National League All-Star appearances, and a Major League record 18 career Gold Glove Awards. According to Hall of Famer Wade Boggs, it seemed as if this pitcher could, quote, see into the future. It's like he has a crystal ball hidden inside his glove, Boggs said. He retired last December as the 8th winningest pitcher in the history of the game with 355 career wins, and will certainly be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Once again, we welcome John Hanley along with Ray Sleva from Best Buy to reveal a one-of-a-kind commemorative portrait of Greg Maddux. Would you please welcome to the microphone Cubs great and future Hall of Famer, Greg Maddux.
Thank you. Thank you very much. What a privilege, what an honor to be standing up here with these guys. I mean, these guys are what the Cubs are all about. Kind of like Fergie said, to have success on the field, you have to have the team behind you. And I was fortunate enough to play with a lot of very good players. Jody Davis was here. I know he caught me when I first started playing. And Jody taught me the importance of you have to listen to the catcher most of the time. And but I want to thank my family for coming. Definitely want to thank the Cubs, the whole organization, and absolutely the fans in the city. You guys accepted me from the day I got here. I appreciate that. Never forget you guys. And let's beat the Marlins today. Let's get them. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the left field and right field corners as we raise two number 31 flags simultaneously in honor of these two renowned pitchers. To raise Fergie's flag in left field, former teammates Randy Hundley and Gled Beckert. And to raise Greg's flag in right field, former teammate and battery mate Jody Davis. These two flags represent the highest honor the Chicago Cubs can bestow, and the number 31 will forever fly proudly above America's most beautiful ballpark.
Are you ready for the digital world? By June 12th, Antenna TV will be all digital. Remember to rescan your converter box or digital TV set, especially after June 12th. By rescanning, your TV set will find all the channels available in your area.
Maybe your own price, huh?
Yeah, they want $200 for a 4-star on the Vegas Strip. I'm going $190.
Oh, you wuss.
What?
Go lower.
$160?
Namby-pamby.
$99.
Now you're negotiating.
At Priceline, find half-price hotels every day. Save up to half off Expedia's best price and Hotels.com's best price on over 16,000 hotels. Find half-price hotels every day at Priceline.
Turn on your TV. Tonight to WGN America.
Shh, it's starting.
It's Out of Sight Retro Night.
Simple, uncluttered television with heart.
Tonight at 5 East, 2 West. Only on WGN America.
Don't touch that dial.
everyone's looking for ways to save money. You've made a budget, you've cut back on spending, and somehow there's still not enough money at the end of the month.
I used to be just like you, spending too much money for TV and fed up with poor customer service. Then, I found the best deals on TV entertainment. And today, I'll share my secret with you, so you too can enjoy your favorite channels for just a fraction of what you pay now. It's Dish Network, the home of the lowest all-digital nationwide prices. In fact, over 30 million people already enjoy Dish Network. With Dish Network, you can get over 100 of the most popular channels, including local channels, for just $39.99 a month. So why would you pay more to get the same channels you could be watching on Dish Network? Really, are your favorite movies and shows any better on DirecTV because you pay more for them? Every month, you can save $10, $20, $30, maybe even more with Dish Network. Why would you ever pay more for TV?
Switch to Dish Network now, and for a limited time, get our most popular package for just $14.99 a month for 6 months. That's right. That's a $150 value. Call now, and we'll professionally install your system free.
Plus, if you're looking for the best high-definition channels and digital video recorders, Dish Network has it all.
Start saving today with Dish Network. Call now, and we'll also give you HBO and Stars absolutely free for 3 months. That's over 15 channels of the best movies and original series. Yours free for 3 months.
With Dish Network, you always save more and you get more.
So why stay with the other guys, spending more and getting less?
Get over 100 great channels, including local channels, for just $14.99 a month, plus free installation. And HBO and Stars free for 3 months. With Dish Network, you'll save money year after year, too, with our low, everyday prices. Have your credit card ready and call this number now, or visit dishnetwork.com and start saving money today.
One number, two legends, 31 retired has been brought to you by Budweiser. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. Pepsi, every generation refreshes the world. Visit refresheverything.com. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Dodge dealers. To find the dealer nearest you and information on all Dodge vehicles, visit DodgeRockChicago.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Travel Southwest Airlines for business and get where you need to go on time. Visit Southwest.com today.
Greg Maddux and Ferguson Jenkins, number 31. These guys pitched for a combined 20 years for the Cubs and won exactly 300 games. And now their number 31 hangs from each flagpole here at Wrigley Field. A great afternoon and a baseball game yet to come. The Cubs and the Marlins this afternoon here on WGN.
I'm on the journey of a lifetime.
We're pretty much in the clouds.
But the story isn't over.
So catch up on what you missed with back-to-back episodes of Around the World for Free, Monday nights, a WGN America original.
Stop your auto repair bills now. If you own a car with less than 250,000 miles, you can get an extended warranty that will finally stop your repair bills. Just call now or go to StopRepairBills.com. When you own a car, SUV, or truck, sooner or later it will need repair, and that can cost you thousands of dollars right out of your pocket. Just one transmission job could cost over $3,000. A new engine could cost over $4,000, but you won't have to pay a cent. Call now or visit StopRepairBills.com, and we'll cover 100% of the costs. This isn't a dealer's warranty. It's much better and costs less. Because you only pay for the coverage you need. You even choose the repair shop. And we pay them directly so you don't wait to be reimbursed. The sooner you call, the sooner you're covered.
Call 1-800-496-4433. A free 5-minute call can save you thousands in auto repair. Call 1-800-496-4433 and stop paying repair bills now.
Are you paying more than $1.70 a month for phone service? Then you need Magic Jack for just $19.95 a year. $19.95 a year. We are now adding over 250,000 new customers a month because we give you free local and long distance, your own phone number, voicemail, and directory assistance. Replace your phone company or add a second line with Magic Jack for just $19.95 a year. Get Magic Jack at Radio Shack.
WWE Superstars. I am Edge.
When I see an opportunity, I seize it.
WWE Superstars.
Expect everything.
Welcome to the Leadoff Man Show. As my partner makes his way back up to the booth, let's take a look at today's Hyundai dealer of the game. It's Edelson Hyundai in Countryside, Illinois. Back with more right after this.
When your neighbors ask who does your lawn, just open your garage. Excellent maneuverability. Wide range of cutting decks. And the quality and great price of Craftsman. Innovations, the broadest selection, and better value. No wonder Craftsman is among America's most trusted brands.
Mom, I want an allergy medicine that won't make me drowsy. Children's Claritin Chewables? I relieve allergy symptoms without making you drowsy. And grape tastes awesome.
It's the #1 pediatrician recommended non-drowsy brand. Let your kids live Claritin Clear.
Does your mouthwash work in 6 different ways? Introducing Listerine Total Care. Everything you need to strengthen teeth, help prevent cavities, and kill germs. Introducing 6-in-1 Listerine Total Care, the most complete mouthwash.
Nobody has to tell you these are tough times. That's why it's a good time to get back under the hood, to keep that car running longer, and do everything you can to make sure a small job doesn't turn into a costly one. And AutoZone is here to help every step of the way. We're the one place you'll find the expertise, tools, and advice you can trust to help you do the job right the first time. Because do it yourself doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
The Hyundai Leadoff Man, brought to you in part by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. And by your Chicago Hyundai dealers. Always a home run with America's best warranty. And now, Hyundai Assurance.
Time now to see who's in the zone, brought to you by AutoZone. Greg Maddux, Fergie Jenkins, number 31, retired today. Greg Maddux was in the zone throughout his career here in Chicago. Just a tremendous, tremendous future Hall of Famer. That's who's in the zone. Brought to you by the AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Coming up shortly, today's starting pitchers.
Extreme 3, the only disposable with 3 flexible pivoting blades and 2 conditioning strips for a smooth, comfortable shave. Schick Extreme 3, for your skin.
There's no greater joy than giving to your kids for their first tooth, first steps, first set of wheels, first day of practice. But only one gift protects a lifetime of firsts. Life insurance from New York Life ensures your loved ones will always be taken care of. With 164 years of financial strength, it's the most selfless gift you can give. New York Life, the company you keep.
We've got lots of great options. I think you're really going to have fun. Oh.
This one just came on the market. It's a 2-bedroom.
You're hired, buddy. What? Wait.
Can I help you?
Snack wrap.
What kind, sir?
All of them? McDonald's Snack Wraps. Chipotle barbecue, ranch, and honey mustard. With grilled or crispy all-white meat chicken. We've got all the flavors. The decision is all yours.
Does your mouthwash work in 6 different ways? Introducing Listerine Total Care. Everything you need to strengthen teeth, help prevent cavities, and kill germs. Introducing 6-in-1 Listerine Total Care, the most complete mouthwash.
Let's get ready for this morning's quiz. Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue
in 1492.
Nice. Follow me. The Missouri River's this way.
Lewis and Clark, expedition of 1804.
Oh, he'll never get this.
Magellan, 1520.
Oh, my 8 layers must have given it away.
A clinical study showed kids who ate a filling breakfast of Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheat cereal had 23% better quality of memory when compared to kids who missed out on breakfast. Help your kids succeed in school by searching Mini-Wheats on MSN.com.
The Hyundai Leadoff Man, brought to you in part by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. And by your Chicago Hyundai dealers. Always a home run with America's best warranty. And now, Hyundai Assurance.
Well, on a day like this, honoring Fergie and Greg Maddux, you have to have a battle of aces. Couple of opening day starters. Been a struggle for former Cubs farmhand Ricky Nolasco to begin the year. Carlos Zambrano did it all in an 11-3 win at Arizona his last time out. Pitched well and also had 3 hits at the plate. He's 4-1 lifetime against the Florida Marlins. It's a glorious day for Cubs baseball today. It's the Cubs hosting the Marlins. Coming up next.
Honey, it's the money we could be saving with Geico.
Tell me.
I'm on it.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It's the money you could be saving with Geico. He's not much for conversation, but if he was, it would be a conversation about saving you money.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
How much sugar is in these energy drinks? Let's find out. While waiting, you should know. 5-Hour Energy contains 0 sugar and only 4 calories. Its blend of B vitamins and amino acids can help you feel awake, alert, and productive for hours without the crash or jitters. The answer is 12. Over 12 teaspoons of sugar and 200 calories in these energy drinks. 0 sugar and 4 calories in 5.
It's Mesmer.
The following. Painting will never be the same. Wagner brings you the only power painter with Optimus dual-tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual-tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual-tip technology only from Wagner. The finish you want, the value you're looking for.
See you tomorrow, Steve.
Tony Stewart. Thank you, Tony.
Tony? Armor All wash, wipes, and tire shines. Go ahead, stare. And to clean your car while you shine, try Armor All Protectant.
The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
Well, it's all about the number 31 today as the Cubs have retired the number 31 in honor of 2 Cub greats, Fergie Jenkins and Greg Maddux. And we're set for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. The Cubs have won their last 2. They've scored 14 runs over the last 2 days, and they try to win this series against the Florida Marlins. Hi again, everyone. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. What a great ceremony as Fergie Jenkins and Greg Maddux with the ultimate honor having their number 31 retired. I guess the only thing that didn't happen is the wind's not blowing right now to see those great flags.
Well, we know the wind will blow at some point here at Wrigley Field, but I've had an opportunity to get to know Fergie over the years, certainly competed against Greg Maddux. You always knew you were in for a battle against those 2 guys.
Well, maybe we'll see a Cubs 3-1 win behind Carlos Zambrano. Down to the field now, Wayne Mesmer with our national anthem.
God Bless America, followed by our national anthem.
God bless America, land that I love. stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
All about Cubs legends today. Greg Maddux and Fergie Jenkins joining Billy, Ronnie, and Ernie among the players with their retired numbers.
Hi, I'm Alex Boylan. Join me as I circumnavigate the globe without a penny in my pocket.
I can't sleep on a night in the street.
I've already seen some amazing places.
We're pretty much in the clouds.
And met incredible people.
That feeling you get at nighttime is your soul's recognition that it's finally home.
But the story isn't over.
Dude, what was that?
So catch up on what you missed with back-to-back episodes of Around the World for free, Monday nights starting at 8 East, 5 West, a WGN America original.
That hits the spot.
It's drinkability. It means Bud Light is good wherever you are.
If you're at a party, or playing golf, like those guys, or at the bar.
Draw another door.
Don't say draw.
Never filling, always refreshing. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
7 aces.
It's good to get away.
What is this?
This is a travel napping, and I want you to stop wasting your money.
We got a good deal.
I can find a better deal than that in my sleep, if I slept. At Priceline, you can name your own price and save up to half off on hotels.
That's way less than Expedia.
Negotiation accomplished.
Painting will never be the same. Wagner brings you the only power painter with Optimus dual tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual tip technology only from Wagner. The finish you want, the value you're looking for.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Bud Light. With just the right taste that never fills you up. The difference is drinkability. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Dodge dealers. To find the dealer nearest you, visit DodgeRockChicago.com. The Illinois Lottery. Play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. Buy Pepsi. Every generation refreshes the world. Visit RefreshEverything.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Travel Southwest Airlines for business and get where you need to go on time. Visit Southwest.com today.
You're watching the Chicago Cubs on WGN Sports, and Chicago Cubs baseball in beautiful high definition is sponsored by Comcast. Everybody got here early today. Let's hope the ball game will live up to the pregame billing. Wind is now blowing a little bit. You can see Jenkins off to the left, number 31. Maddux on the right field foul pole, number 31 as well. Let's check in on the Florida Marlins starting lineup for Game 4 of this series. They're still in first, the game up on the Philadelphia Phillies. Switch hitting Emilio Bonifacio will start it. John Baker, the catcher, is going to bat second. Hanley Ramirez not off to the great power start that he had last year, 8 home runs a year ago. Cantu, Ugla, Hermida. Dan Ugla was out of the lineup with a hamstring situation yesterday. Ross, Glode, and Nolasco will round it out.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today behind Big Z, brought to you by Pepsi. Pepsi, refresh everything. Soriano, Fukudome, Bradley across the outfield. Fondo at third base, Babe Terrio at shortstop, Aaron Miles at second base, Derek Lee over at first. Giovanni Soto will be doing the catching today for Carlos Zambrano. Big Z has a pretty good grasp of the history of this organization and certainly is good friends with Greg Maddux, knows Fergie and what he's done for this organization, and you know he would love to pitch a stellar ball game today to honor those two men.
No doubt. Bonifacio stepping in. We are underway. Fastball for a strike. Umpires today, Brian Knight, who's from Montana, will work the plate. Jim Wolf, Brian O'Nora, Field and Culbreth on the bases. 2 quick strikes. Bouncer right back to Zambrano. That's a Maddux-like play. 3 pitches and 1 out. I was saying to somebody this morning, Bob, days like this you don't take for granted in this part of the country, but by the time we hit mid-June, there are going to be a lot of days like this, but they really stand out in early May, don't they?
Oh, no question about it. I mean, everything about the day here at Wrigley Field, as you mentioned, the fans all showed up early to honor Fergie and Greg Maddux. You got Big Z on the mound, the sun's shining, the wind's blowing out. Perfect day for baseball here at Wrigley.
1-0 on the left-handed hitting catcher, John Baker. Good late movement on that sinker from Z.
You know, Len, the Cubs defensively have already had as many assists in this ball game today as they did in 9 innings yesterday. A lot of strikeouts and fly balls and line drives. Only 1 assist by an infielder in the game yesterday.
And the wind was blowing out, and Ted Lilly and Aaron Heilman kept the Marlins to 1 run, even with all those fly balls. Ted wanted to finish it. He went a team high 8 innings for 2009, but Lou thought, you've had enough today. And Heilman, after a rough outing earlier in this series, struck out the side in the 9th. There's a roller into center on a 3-1 pitch, and the Marlins have their first base runner. It'll bring up Hanley Ramirez, the shortstop.
Kind of odd to see a team have their catcher hitting in the 2 spot in the lineup. Paul LaDuca in his days with the Los Angeles Dodgers used to hit second quite a bit. Dutch Dalton with the Philadelphia Phillies on occasion hits second, and John Baker plugging that 2-hole in the lineup for the Marlins today.
How about the third baseman leading off, which you don't see very often? The catcher batting second and the shortstop hitting third. All their outfielders are at the bottom of the order, 6, 7, and 8. There's Cantu on deck. Yeah, the Florida Marlins have a lot of power in the middle of their infield, and Ramirez and Dan Uggla. Nice tip of the cap from Freddie Gonzalez to Greg Maddux. Freddie, a longtime third base coach with the Braves when Greg pitched there.
Yeah, Len, I thought it was a great show of respect. Most of the Marlins team was up in front of that first base dugout throughout the ceremonies to honor Fergie and Greg Maddux, and that's a very classy thing. I'm sure Freddie Gonzalez suggested to his players that they get out there and look at two of the best that ever played the game.
Now, the Cubs were all packed into their dugout watching as well. Nobody wanted to miss it. That's fouled off. And the thing about Fergie and Greg, they two pretty modest guys. They didn't take up a lot of time talking about themselves. They thanked a lot of people, thanked the fans. And in the case of Greg Maddux, no script. He got a little choked up when he started.
I have to tell you, Len, you know, when Maddux first stood up and said thank you, I thought that was going to be the end of it. He's not a guy that likes to call a lot of attention to himself. He always deferred the credit to his teammates during his playing days. And after a slight pause, as you said, he started without a script, and a heartfelt thanks to his teammates and the Cubs fans and the city of Chicago. Very nice.
Fergie here along with his wife Lydia. Carl Kovacs, longtime friend and president of the Fergie Jenkins Foundation, and the scout who signed him, Gene Jadura. Pretty close pitch. 3-2 on Ramirez. We'll see if Baker will run to try to stay out of a double play on a payoff pitch with only one out.
Anytime you have Z on the mound in a situation like this, it's a potential strike him out, throw him out. We know he's a strikeout pitcher. He gets rid of the ball quickly.
Not running. That's drilled to deep center, and it's going to be over Kosuke. Baker had to hold up near second to make sure it got over the Cubs center fielder, and he'll have to stop at third. It's a double for Hanley Ramirez. That's a subtle thing, Bob. I think about how good Kosuke is in center. The runner can't take it for granted that that ball is going to get in there. Kosuke played it like he was going to catch it.
You saw Baker go all the way to second base, but he was stopped when he got to the base to wait and see if Fukudome was able to make the play. I got to tell you, Len, if Carlos is able to wiggle out of this first inning jam here, Bo Porter, the third base coach, is going to second guess himself. That relay throw was taken way out into center field, and the runner Baker was at the bag, maybe a step or two around the bag when the ball got to the cutoff man, and he chose to throw up the stop sign. You can certainly understand the way Jorge Cantu has been swinging the bat. You don't want to run into an out at home plate, but that was going to be an awfully long throw for a middle infielder from shallow center field.
The 0-1 pitch to Cantu. Now 2 strikes. Weather conditions 65 degrees and the wind out of the west at 8, so it's blowing straight out to center. And Jorge Cantu has not missed many of these opportunities. Runners at second and third and only one out. Greg Maddux here with his family today. Kathy, his wife, their children, daughter Paige, their son Chase, who threw out the ceremonial first pitch today, and Greg's parents as well, his mom Linda, his dad Dave. Baker will score, and Lee will beat Cantu to first base. A broken bat, RBI ground out for Cantu, who's knocked in 25 on the year. It's 1-0 Florida. First time Z has allowed a run in the opening inning this season.
That's one of those quirks of the game of baseball. Big Z made the pitch he wanted to make. Cantu just able to cue it off the very end of the bat as it shattered. Soft ground ball to Derek Lee. No other play than to take the out at first.
Runner at third, Ramirez. Ugla had some tightness in his left hamstring and did not play yesterday. You may recall the play on Friday. He took a throw on another great play by Alfredo Meziga. Final out of the fourth inning. He stretched like a first baseman and tweaked his hammy. One ball, one strike. So what's going to happen here, partner? A walk or a strikeout? It's been every meeting so far between these two guys. 1 and 2.
I'm voting for the strikeout.
Yeah, me too.
And if we want to have our 3-1 Cubs victory, Big Z and the rest of the pitching staff are going to have to stop the bleeding right there.
Yeah, that's it. I was going to say 31-0, but I thought that might have been too greedy.
You know, Len, I really thought it was appropriate that Ferguson Jenkins and Greg Maddux took a victory lap around the field in a golf cart, since that's probably where Greg Maddux spends most of his time nowadays.
Oh, yeah. He played a lot of golf during his playing days. Soto had to reach back across the plate toward the inside corner. It's 2 and 2 with Jeremy Hermida on deck. Yesterday's winning pitcher also had a big 2-run double to deep right. A lot of rain on the East Coast. Cardinals and Nationals haven't started yet. They're under a delay. Mets and Phillies rained out. Angels and Yankees already postponed. Another close pitch not going the way of Big Z. And it's 3 and 2.
He threw an inside fastball a few hitters ago, didn't get the call. That time appeared to paint the outside corner with another fastball, but in the estimation of Brian Knight, it was just off the corner.
Long look by Carlos. He has a sign from Soto. The kick and the pitch. A high fly ball. Kosuke is drifting back. He is on the warning track and he catches it for the out. The Marlins strike first. They get 1. The Cubs are coming up against Ricky Nolasco.
Nobody has to tell you these are tough times. That's why it's a good time to get back under the hood, to keep that car running longer, and do everything you can to make sure a small job doesn't turn into a costly one. And AutoZone is here to help every step of the way. We're the one place you'll find the expertise, tools, and advice you can trust to help you do the job right the first time. Because do it yourself doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
When your neighbors ask who does your lawn, just open your garage. Excellent maneuverability. Wide range of cutting decks. And the quality and great price of Craftsman. Innovations, the broadest selection, and better value. No wonder Craftsman is among America's most trusted brands.
How much sugar is in these energy drinks? Let's find out. While waiting, you should know. 5-Hour Energy contains 0 sugar and only 4 calories. Its blend of B vitamins and amino acids can help you feel awake, alert, and productive for hours without the crash or jitters. The answer is 12. Over 12 teaspoons of sugar and 200 calories in these energy drinks. 0 sugar and 4 calories in 5-Hour Energy. There's a reason people choose 5-Hour Energy 2.5 million times a week. 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later.
Let's check in on Lou Pinella's Cubs Pepsi lineup, brought to you by Pepsi. Pepsi, refresh everything. Soriano, Terrio, and Fukudome at the top. Lee Bradley and Fontenot in the middle. Mike with 4 knocked in this set. Soto, Miles, and Big Z at the bottom. Ricky Nolasco getting ready to work. Get you the rest of the Marlins defense here in a second. Soriano serves one into left for a leadoff single.
Well, you saw Jeremy Hermida make the play out there in left field. Let's take a look at the rest of the Marlins defensively. Cody Ross in center. Ross Glode over in right field. Bonifacio, Ramirez, Ugla, and Cantu across the infield today. John Baker has made his presence felt in this game, scoring the first run of the game. He'll be behind the plate today for right-hander Ricky Nolasco.
The Marlins have gone a club record 15 games without a win from a starting pitcher. Cubs hope to keep that streak intact today, and here's the power coming up. Nolasco off to a rough start. He hasn't won since opening day, and he gave up 5 runs in 6 innings in that win versus the Nationals. Babe Terrio, that's what you called him, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you, when a guy who's not used to hitting home runs or not expected to hit home runs goes on a tear like Ryan Terrio has been, you almost wish it would end, because his teammates were really giving him the business once again today around that batting cage.
Got a piece of it. 1-2 the count. Grand slam to win the game Friday and went deep early yesterday.
Jump started the Cubs offensively. Got a fastball up and over the plate. Broke it down into his trot, and why not? Wind was blowing out. He got it about halfway up the bleachers in left field.
Milton Bradley, I guess they had a deal. He was going to wear an LSU football jersey after the game if he could hit a home run in back-to-back games, and he did. I bet you Terrio and Nolasco played with each other at one point in the Cubs chain as he takes a called third for the first out.
That's his signature pitch, the big breaking curveball. When he's got that pitch going, he can really be tough. Terrio thought that pitch was down. It was probably down when Baker caught the ball behind the plate, but it might have been right there at the bottom of the strike zone when it crossed the hitting area.
They were Double-A teammates in West Tennessee before Nolasco was sent to the Marlins in the Juan Pierre deal in December of '05. Fukudome the batter, and he takes ball 1. One thing to look for, Bob, Nolasco has really had trouble putting away hitters in 0-2 counts. Opposing batters are hitting almost .500. He's talked about bad pitch selection. And I think what's happened is he's felt like the 0-2 pitches are so bad he's not getting anybody to swing at it and allowing guys to get back in the count. Sometimes you don't want to throw a strike, but you have to make it hittable, right? Or at least swingable.
Swingable, yeah, that's probably a better term to use. You want to make it close enough to that strike zone where a hitter thinks he needs to swing at it to protect the plate, but not good enough where he can make solid contact. As we watch Nolasco throughout the afternoon, he features a fastball, a curveball, a slider, and a split that he will use against left-handed hitters. Fastball in the high 80s, low 90s. On a good day, he'll approach the mid-90s.
Long pause now, the pitch. It's 2-0.
In past starts this year, Nolasco has tried to establish his fastball early, and the second time through the lineup throws a lot of first pitch breaking balls, just trying to get ahead in the count with a get me over curveball or slider. Something maybe to watch for the second time through the Cubs order.
Kosuke with a fly ball, shallow left, and a sliding grab by Jeremy Hermida for the out. The Marlins continue to play excellent defense. 2 outs in the inning.
I don't think I've seen so many opposing players on their bellies as we have seen the Marlins in this 4-game series. Jeremy Hermida, the most recent, making a nice diving catch coming straight in on that sinking line drive.
Derek with a booming home run on the Waveland in the 4th inning yesterday after striking out his first 2 at-bats. I asked Derek about facing Greg Maddux and then playing with him. He said he was a nightmare to face, never gave you anything to hit, called him a great teammate, said all Greg cared about was winning. A pop-up. Cantu over near the tarp, and he will not have a play. The best line I got, though, from the Cubs was Gerald Perry, who talked about facing Greg Maddux. He said he threw a nitro ball. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, when he knew you weren't going to swing, it was a fastball right down the middle. But when he knew you were going to swing, the ball moved around your bat. He said he knew when you weren't going to swing, and the ball knew when you weren't going to swing.
Well, you know, as crazy as that sounds, Len, I can absolutely understand where he's coming from.
Another pop-up right down the line, foul.
I mean, I've kind of used the same description of facing Steve Carlton in his heyday. He would throw that big slider to a right-handed hitter, and if you took it, it seemed to stay in the strike zone, and if you swung at it, it ended up in the dirt. Seemed to be able to control the ball after he let it go, which I don't think anybody can do. But Greg Maddux, Steve Carlton, the great pitchers in the game, made you feel that way as you walk back to the dugout dragging your bat.
Two strikes on Lee. Soriano led off the inning on the first pitch with a base hit, but he's still at first. Another foul. Fergie Jenkins involved in one of the great trades in Cubs history back in 1966. April 21st, acquired along with Adolfo Phillips, John Herrnstein from the Philadelphia Phillies for Larry Jackson and Bob Buell.
And the thing you have to love about both those guys is that they weren't power pitchers by any stretch of the imagination. Early in Fergie's career, he had a real good fastball, but he wasn't about overpowering hitters. He was about hitting his spots, making batters hit pitches around the edges of the strike zone, and certainly the same could be said for Greg Maddux.
They pitch out, and Soriano not running. Let's check out some numbers here.
Oh, I know these already. I looked them up.
0 for 3 with a strikeout against Jenkins, but you hit 400 against Greg Maddux.
Owned him.
Lou Piniella went 1 for 8 versus Fergie. You're the bridge between the Jenkins and Maddux eras.
The wobbly bridge at that.
It's 3-2. Well, the other thing about having Z on the mound, ground ball pitcher, excellent athlete, fields his position well. Think about Maddux with the 18 Gold Gloves, and then you think about his hitting, and Fergie Jenkins was a fantastic hitter. Soriano will go on a payoff pitch to Lee with 2 outs. Fly ball, right center. Ross Glode with the catch, and that's the inning. We've completed one on a beautiful day on the north side. 1-0, Florida.
Mom, I want an allergy medicine that won't make me drowsy. Children's Claritin Chewables? I relieve allergy symptoms without making you drowsy. And grape tastes awesome.
It's the #1 pediatrician recommended non-drowsy brand. Let your kids live Claritin Clear. You're not like everyone else. No, you are a penny picker-upper. And you realize that a found penny isn't just a penny, it's the world's tiniest trophy. In honor of your saving savvy, CC's is dropping 1 million special pennies on the sidewalks around our restaurants. Some worth much more than a penny. It's what you'd expect from the home of the endless pizza buffet for $5 and change. So get to it. There's a penny out there with your name on it.
Here's Ryan getting ready to make his approach. To the men's room.
Looks like he needs to go urgently.
True. And there's Casey about to drive, also to the men's room.
He has been going over and over.
Now Wilson, third time today, says he's going a lot at night, too.
Yes, I'm afraid he thinks it's par for the course.
They ought to see their doctors.
Could be male urinary symptoms due to BPH and enlarged prostate.
For many guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week.
1 week?
Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer.
Avoid driving or hazardous tasks for 12 hours after your first dose or increase in dose, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting.
If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen.
Ask your doctor if Flomax is right for you.
And call 877-4FLOMAX to see if you qualify for up to $40 off new or refill prescriptions.
For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
Marlins 1, Cubs nothing as we get into the second. Jeremy Hermida, ball 1. We've said that a lot throughout this series. Very patient at bats throughout for Hermida. That's a strike, although he had a rough one yesterday. Took a lot of pitches, but he struck out all 4 times. And all 4 were of the swinging variety. What do you do as a batter? I mean, take the collar, the golden sombrero, whatever you want to call it. Don't make contact. You just put it out of your mind, forget about it.
Some of us became very accustomed to that. It's no big deal. I mean, you know, in Jeremy Hermida's case, as you mentioned, a very patient hitter. He wants to see a lot of pitches. He wants to work a lot of deep counts. And sometimes when you do that, you put yourself in a hole. You have to chase some bad pitches from time to time. But the upside is you're forcing that opposing pitcher to throw a boatload of pitches. And even though you may have a bad day, it might set it up for one of your teammates behind you in the lineup.
Bunch of full counts early on. The 3-2 pulled on the ground, rolls up the glove of Lee, but Zeke gets to first base in plenty of time. That's something Derek said Greg Maddux was great at. Never had to wait to throw the ball to Greg Maddux at first. And time to have a ball with our friends at the Illinois Lottery. Young Chase Maddux playing ball. He's a pitcher, plays some second base, a little bit in the outfield, throwing out the first pitch to Dad.
Maybe tried to overthrow it just a little bit.
That's today's Have a Ball, thanks to the Illinois Lottery. He's grown up fast.
Yes, he really has. I was just thinking that. That's not the first time Greg Maddux has played catcher to his son Chase. We saw him many times down in the bullpen early in the afternoon before a night game here at Wrigley Field. And Mad Dog would go down there with a catcher's mitt and sit and catch pitch after pitch after pitch from young Chase Maddux.
1-1 on Cody Ross. Swing and a miss. He may have some trouble with the center fielder and right field. You have Cody Ross and Ross Glode, both playing the outfield for Florida. The 1-2 pulled it, and Zieg with a Maddux-like reaction. Greg could get very upset with himself, and he didn't make that perfect pitch.
Well, especially early in his career, sometimes to his detriment, I think, when he was young, but he quickly learned how to use it to his advantage. And I truly believe a lot of times when he did get mad at himself, it wasn't because he missed with that particular pitch. It was because that threw off the whole sequence that he was hoping to execute against that hitter. He was always thinking 3 or 4 pitches ahead every at bat.
Deep fly Kosuke with a beat on it, however. He's been busy early on. These are the kinds of numbers that you dream about putting up if you get to the big leagues as a starting pitcher. Over 3,000 strikeouts and fewer than 1,000 walks. All the guys on the right are still active.
You know, and I had a chance to see Curt Schilling up close and personal for a few years there in Arizona, and one thing he had in common with Greg Maddux is he used the whole strike zone. Oh, look at that.
Z with a nice catch on a broken bat. So Curt Schilling did retire, so he is one of those guys too. It's 1-0 Marlins.
I'm on the journey of a lifetime.
We're pretty much in the clouds.
But the story isn't over. So catch up on what you missed with back-to-back episodes of Around the World for free. Monday nights, a WGN America original.
WWE Superstars. I am Edge.
When I see an opportunity, I seize it.
WWE Superstars. Expect everything.
Pepsi's got another hit on their hands, and it's called Pepsi Throwback. Introducing Pepsi Throwback, made with natural sugar, only for a limited time. Sing it, baby.
I never thought I would have a heart attack, but I did. You need to talk to your doctor about aspirin. You need to be your own advocate.
Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
You take care of your kids. Now it's time to take care of yourself.
See you tomorrow, Steve. Tony Stewart. Thank you, Tony.
Tony? Armor All wash, wipes, and tire shines. Go ahead, stare. And to clean your car while you shine, try Armor All Protectant.
Cubs trail 1-0 though. Bat in the second. Bradley, Fontenot, and Soto for the home team.
Well, then I started to talk about Curt Schilling and Greg Maddux and all those pitchers on that list for that matter using the whole strike zone. There are a lot of pitchers at this level that just want to throw it in the strike zone. They don't care where it is. Just try to hit the catcher in the strike zone somewhere. The good pitchers, they used every quadrant of that zone. They changed speeds in all the quadrants. And as a hitter, you'd go back to the dugout thinking the guy on the mound threw 12 different pitches. He'd throw you a sinker away, he'd throw you a sinker in, he'd throw you a high breaking ball, get you to foul it off. Then he'd throw you a four-seamer up high in the zone. Then a changeup down low and away, just completely covering every square inch of that strike zone.
That's in there, 1-2 on Bradley. They didn't just fall out of bed and throw those pitches right there. You know, a lot of practice, a lot of reps. Fergie has talked to us many times about just, you know, how much he threw. And over 300 innings. Don't see that anymore. Greg Maddux, all he did between starts was throw. He'd throw up against the pads and the side walls, different ballparks. He didn't even need somebody to play catch with him.
Well, I heard Fergie earlier today talking about the fact that he had a rubber arm. He'd start 3 games in a week sometimes, and he was blessed with a rubber arm. Well, that's a little simplification if you ask me. His arm really isn't made out of rubber, and you know there were a lot of games he was a lot less than 100% when he went out there and took the mound. But when he started a game, he expected to finish a game, whether he was in discomfort or not out there on the mound.
Well, maybe we need to kind of change the definition of what talent is and include the wherewithal to work hard, the focus to work really hard. Out in on him, and he's going to pop out to Dan Uggla. Today's Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kids are Tom Kutchke from Lake Forest, Illinois. Tommy Hansen, also from Lake Forest. For more information on how you can be a Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kid, go to WGNradio.com. Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs.
Boy, good day to be in the dugout today. Not only the stars of today, but a lot of the Cubs greats.
How many times, Bob, do you hear about prospects who have all the potential in the world and it just never comes together? I'm not saying those guys don't work hard or didn't work hard. Maybe they just weren't as good as everybody thought.
Well, that happens a lot. And it's also the case where a lot of times a guy is blessed with God-given talents and abilities, and things come so easy to them that when they reach that level where they're competing against guys that are just as good as they are, they don't know how to put in that hard work, take that extra step, go that extra mile.
Off the inside corner. Probably see Aramis Ramirez back in the lineup tomorrow night against left-hander Jonathan Sanchez and the Giants. Aramis feeling better every day, bothered by the left calf injury. Yes, it's okay when he runs, but then a little later he starts to feel it, so the Cubs have been extra cautious.
I saw Aramis early this morning running the bases with Ed Halber, the assistant trainer, and Tim Buss, the strength and conditioning coach. Looked a lot better than he did a few days ago.
Another strikeout, number 2 for Nolasco. Watch the Cubs take on the Giants tomorrow at 7:05. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Cubs drawstring bag. Compliments of Van Campen. Giovanni Soto, ball 1. 99 knocked in his major league career. Cubs had a middling April, very mediocre, but they're off to a 2-0 start in the month of May. Got to be weird for Greg to be sitting upstairs watching.
Although he's very used to watching. I don't think I ever saw a player pay so much attention.
That's very deep for Soto, and it will get off the door out there. Just missed a home run. That'll be a second double of the year. Still looking for that first homer, but he gave it a ride. And he's in scoring position with 2 outs.
Good sign for Gerald Perry and for Giovanni Soto that he goes to the opposite field with authority. He's been hitting some balls to right field, but hasn't really been driving in the way he drives this double off the door in right center. We're talking about Greg Maddux watching the game. You and I have both been amazed by watching Greg Maddux come to the ballpark early on days he pitches and sit in the dugout and watch the other team take early batting practice, just to try to get familiar with some of the guys that he didn't know, watch their swings, see how he wanted to attack them later on that night.
Runner at second. First time the Cubs have had a man in scoring position. Nolasco's 1-0. Missed again. 2 balls, no strikes. Nolasco's given up a lot of hits, 35 in just 26 innings coming in. He is 2-0 against the team that drafted him in the 4th round in 2001. Was the AA Southern League Pitcher of the Year in 2005 in the Cubs chain.
You saw that pitch right there. John Baker, his catcher, wanted it inside. On the advance report, it said that Nolasco's been having a lot of trouble getting the fastball away from the right-handed hitters or into the lefties. You can see he works from that far third base side of the rubber, and a lot of his pitches stray back over the heart of the plate, or that time all the way across the plate to the outside corner. If a right-handed pitcher pitching to, well, a righty or a lefty, if you're trying to come in on a left-handed hitter and that ball strays back out over the heart of the plate, those are the ones that get hit real hard.
3-1. Miles drives that ball through the alley. That could roll all the way to the wall. Soto's going to score easily. Aaron thinking 3. Nope, going to hold with 2. Well, he put on the brakes fast. RBI double for Miles to tie it 1-1.
Well, out of the box, you let your adrenaline and your game anger control you. But when you get to second base, you have to use your smarts a little bit. Ball was driven into the gap in right center field. Aaron certainly had thoughts about going for third, but just took that split second to realize there's 2 outs in the inning. I'm already in scoring position here at second base. I don't want to get thrown out at third. Better stay right here.
He did the right thing. He looked at Mike Quaddy, the third base coach. That's what you're supposed to do in that spot. Don't get caught up looking over your shoulder. This has become an almost everyday occurrence, seeing Carlos Zambrano at the plate. 4th straight day he's gotten an at bat. He was used as a pinch hitter in the first 3 games of this series. 1 out of 3 in that department.
Well, then we were just talking about Ricky Nolasco having trouble getting the pitches inside to the lefties. Look where the catcher set up, and then look where the pitch ends up. Out over the heart of the plate. Aaron Miles just cranked that ball into the gap in right center. If you miss your spot and leave that ball over the middle of the plate, as you said, you're going to give up a bunch of base hits, and Ricky Nolasco's done that this year.
Chance to grab the lead for the first time. Where do you sit on this Z pinch hitting situation? I had a couple of people ask me about it. Writers have asked Lou about it. Is it risky to have him out there every day off the bench? I mean, that'll probably change when Aramis is back in the lineup every day. I think it's more of a function of having a short bench.
I think you're absolutely right. You know, this is what he's capable of doing, and this is why it's tempting to use him as a pinch hitter. Opposite field home run down in Arizona. I mean, he's got tremendous power to all parts of the ballpark. When he makes contact, he usually puts the ball in play hard somewhere, and we don't know what kind of preparation Carlos does before those pinch hit at bats. If he's up in the weight room getting loose, if he's running up and down the tunnel, if he's swinging some bats off the tee, I don't have that much of a problem with it. When you get concerned is if he's sitting on the bench, it's a cold night, he takes off his jacket, walks right up to home plate, takes an at bat. That concerns me, but I don't think Lou would let that happen. I mean, on days he doesn't pitch, Carlos is probably down there swinging a bat the whole game waiting for an at bat.
Yeah. Nice deep at bat is Matt Sinatra will make that a souvenir, give it to a kid.
Well, it shouldn't be hard to do today. A lot of kids at the ballpark here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon.
The next 2-2 pitch. This time he struck him out on a foul tip. 3 Ks for Nolasco, but they tie it. Back-to-back doubles with 2 outs. It's 1-1.
You do get a hint of drinkability right away.
Does my pen have writability?
Come on, people. We gotta focus. We're not leaving until we've met our budget. We need ideas.
We could cut back on marketing.
We could eliminate bonuses. How about we stop buying Bud Light for every meeting?
It's the only beer with just the right taste. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
It was a joke!
Chic Extreme
3, the only disposable with 3 flexible pivoting blades and 2 conditioning strips for a smooth, comfortable shave. Chic Extreme 3, for your skin.
There's no greater joy than giving to your kids for their first tooth, first steps, first set of wheels, first day of practice. But only one gift protects a lifetime of firsts. Life insurance from New York Life ensures your loved ones will always be taken care of. With 164 years of financial strength, it's the most selfless gift you can give. New York Life, the company you keep.
Mom, I want an allergy medicine that won't make me drowsy. Children's Claritin Chewables? I relieve allergy symptoms without making you drowsy. And grape tastes awesome.
It's the #1 pediatrician-recommended non-drowsy brand. Let your kids live Claritin Clear.
Turn on your TV. Tonight to WGN America.
Don't touch that dial.
It's Out of Sight Retro Night. Tonight at 5 East, 2 West. Only on WGN America.
Time now for a look at our high-def shot of the game, sponsored by Comcast. Jimmy and Eleanor Farrell celebrating their 65th wedding anniversary. Jimmy, the longtime umpire room attendant, now retired. Worked here at Wrigley Field for a quarter-century, and he and Eleanor come to the ballpark almost every day, so congratulations to them. Cubs baseball in high definition is sponsored by Comcast. Also want to send out first anniversary wishes, a 1-year anniversary for Skylar and Andy Stevens. Saw them before the game. So here's to 64 more great years.
There you go.
Stevens.
You know, just give me a guess here, Len. How many times do you think in 65 years that Jimmy said, yes, Eleanor, you're right, I'm sorry?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot. Swing and a miss. Velasco strikes out.
Hey, Eleanor, for the first 4 years we worked together here, she was the last person we would see every day on our way out of Wrigley Field as she sat down in the administrative office waiting for Jimmy to finish up his day's work and then head on home.
And her mood was dictated by how well the Cubs played. I mean,
oh, yeah.
No question about that. How you doing, Eleanor? Lousy. Way inside on Bonifacio.
Good night, Eleanor. What's so good about it?
Cornerman in. The pitch is out.
Yeah, for the people riding the L, they put the W and L flags up on the scoreboard. But for those of us who walked out through the offices, we had Eleanor to let us know what happened that day.
Caught the inside corner. It's 2-1. Bonifacio was late on the fastball. 2-2. Z with 98 career wins. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning. Cub fans, don't forget to visit the WGN Sports Game Zone at WGNTV.com. Brought to you by The Great Escape for up-to-the-minute stats and information designed to give you everything you need to know during the game. The WGN Sports Game Zone is available for every Cubs game and is brought to you by The Great Escape. Pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more. John Baker with a rainbow to right for Milton Bradley. That's it. They go down 1, 2, 3. That's 8 straight sent down by Z. 1-1.
Basically, it's about sympathy. I'm good.
Be honest here, I mean.
Fuck it. I'm good.
My bad. I'm good.
I'm the man. I'm good.
Ready? No.
Men can take anything.
I'm good.
Except the taste of Diet Cola. Until now, Pepsi Max, the first Diet Cola for men.
This is good.
When your neighbors ask who does your lawn, just open your garage. Excellent maneuverability. Wide range of cutting decks. And the quality and great price of Craftsman. Innovation. Innovations, the broadest selection, and better value. No wonder Craftsman is among America's most trusted brands.
I had a good time.
Yeah. I'm gonna get this.
Oh, thank you. What kind of girl do you think I am exactly?
Having a big night? Alka-Seltzer is the speedy way to relieve indigestion, heartburn, and headache.
Dessert?
I'm on the journey of a lifetime.
We're pretty much in the clouds.
But the story isn't over. So catch up on what you missed with back-to-back episodes of Around the World for free. Monday nights, a WGN America original.
WWE Superstars.
I am Edge. When I see an opportunity, I seize it.
WWE Superstars.
Expect everything.
Each team with a run. Cubs batting for the third time. First time through the order against Nolasco. 3 hits, including 2 doubles. Soriano deposited 1 into left to start the last of the first. Takes a slider for a strike or curveball from Nolasco.
Second time through the order. We talked about that in the advance reports. That's what his MO has been this year. Lots of fastballs early in the game. Start to mix in the breaking ball second time through.
Another one that went toward the batter, and he tried to catch the inside part of the plate and could not. Swing and a miss. A lot of movement in the standings this early in the season, and the Cubs, with their back-to-back wins, are tied for second in the Central. As Soriano strikes out. There's 4 games back of St. Louis, still very early.
Hey, Lynn, the Bud Light Concert Series is back with Crosby, Stills, and Nash. They'll be playing at the Charter One Pavilion on June 4th. Tickets are available exclusively at livenation.com. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, June 4th, brought to you by Bud Light. Live music and Bud Light keeps it coming.
High strike on Terrio, who was caught looking in the first. 4 punch-outs for Nolasco. Off the end of the bad foul. Still raining in Washington. If and when they do get started, Kyle McClellan will face John Lannon, a lefty. McClellan at 1-1. Lannon still without a win. He's 0-3. Milwaukee a 2-0 lead over the Diamondbacks. Up at Miller Park, Mike Cameron and Prince Fielder with solo home runs in the second. Inside. Dan Herron was pretty good again.
Well, that's no surprise. Boy, he is locked in the early going this season.
It's upstairs, 2-2. Fukudome on deck. One thing with all these day-to-day injuries, you had Bradley for a while now, Ramirez. Lou has not been able to have his 3, 4, 5 guys kind of lined up. Going back to the first road trip, it was the only time there was any sort of continuity in the middle of the order with Lee, Bradley, Ramirez. Now, when Ramirez is back in the lineup, Lou indicated he might change things up a little bit. He wanted Bradley down in the 6th spot, but was unable to put him there because of the other injuries. And also, Kosuke's done a nice job in the 3-hole. Kind of likes Terrio and Fukudome 2 and 3. Ryan with a single. And here comes Kosuke for the second time today. One thing about Lou, we know he's always willing to adjust based on results.
From our southwest sky cam, Ryan Theriot with that patented inside out swing, drives one into that gap in right center field. Ross over quickly to cut it off and hold the Riot to a single.
Foul pop. One strike on Kosuke. How open were you with your players when you made lineup changes? I mean, say a guy normally hits 5 and you put him in the 6th spot, or somebody hits 2 and you put him 7. Does it depend on the player?
Well, certainly a lot of it depends on the individual player, but what we tried to do with our ball club was make everybody aware early in the season that we were going to use a bunch of different lineups. We were going to move guys around depending on matchups. I think we used 148 different lineups in 2001, and you know, guys showed up at the ballpark knowing they were going to be in the lineup, but not necessarily knowing where they were going to hit in the lineup.
One answer you get a lot of times to the question, did you tell him you moved him, is he should be happy he's in the lineup.
I heard that a lot, but you know, I think once you establish that it isn't a personal thing, I'm not batting you 7th today because I don't like you. We're hitting you 7th today because the guys above you in the lineup have better career numbers against the pitcher we're facing. Because of the way we want to set up our righties and lefties, you fit in the 7th spot perfectly today. And once they realized that was the reasoning behind it, it wasn't a personal thing, it wasn't a punishment. We were just trying to put the best lineup on the field we could every day. Once the guys realized that, they all bought into it.
Somebody going to ask for time? I don't think Nolasco's going to pitch.
I will. Timeout.
I think Kosuke would have waited 10 minutes. If you're going to wait, I'll wait.
Usually it's on the batter to protect the runner. You don't want Ryan Theriot to get jumpy over there at first base and maybe start leaning the wrong direction. So normally with that much of a delay, the hitter calls timeout to protect the runner.
He faked towards second, and Fukudome faked the bunt attempt. It's 2-1. If you'd like to send us an email, it's WGNCubsTV@AOL.com. Emails are flooding in that you should be the new host of the Leadoff Man.
Oh, please. I'll tell you what, I couldn't wait till you got back.
Way up in the air for Ross. 2 outs.
And on a related note, partner, great job with the on-field festivities today. I don't know how you did it. I'll tell you, I'm a very emotional guy, and as you were reading off all the career accomplishments of Fergie and Maddux, and the crowd was on their feet applauding, I had a lump in my throat, chills down my spine. I don't think I'd have been able to handle it, but you did an outstanding job.
I appreciate it. It was just fun to be a part of it. I didn't want to mess it up. That's the whole goal. Just read the script.
I'm a sucker for stuff like that. I'll tell you, the movie Rudy still kills me to this day.
Great to see Ron and Ernie and Billy together. Glenn Beckert's here. Randy Hundley, Jody Davis. Theriot running, and Derek fouls it off. Hair looking good. He always gets an amazing ovation.
He really does. Boy, and it means so much to Ron to be accepted and recognized the way he is every time he steps on the field.
Well, that's a good point. He doesn't take any of it for granted.
Not at all.
Ross Gload will in the bottom of the 3rd. 1 out single, no runs. It's a 1-1 tie.
I hear what you're saying. I just don't do commercials. It's not my thing.
Conan, this is different. It's a ton of money.
and it's only going to be seen in Sweden.
Only in Sweden? All the Hollywood guys do this. This one commercial couldn't hurt.
That wasn't me.
Hey, Conan, vroom, vroom, body starter.
Body starter.
From Wagner comes a revolution in power painting. Optimus dual tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual tip technology only from Wagner. And now available at Lowe's. Wagner's new high-performance power painters with Optimus dual tip technology and turbo motor.
Here's Ryan getting ready to make his approach. To the men's room.
Looks like he needs to go urgently.
True. And there's Casey about to drive, also to the men's room.
He has been going over and over.
Now Wilson, third time today, says he's going a lot at night, too.
Yes, I'm afraid he thinks it's par for the course.
They ought to see their doctors.
Could be male urinary symptoms due to BPH and enlarged prostate.
For many guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week.
1 week?
Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer.
Avoid driving or hazardous tasks for 12 hours after your first dose or increase in dose, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting.
If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen.
Ask your doctor if Flomax is right for you.
And call 877-4FLOMAX to see if you qualify for up to $40 off new or refill prescriptions.
For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
Great to have you with us today. A historic day in Cubs franchise history. Number 31 being retired. Fergie Jenkins, Greg Maddux. One strike the count on Hanley Ramirez. A slider for a strike. 0-2. Just a light breeze blowing. When the flags went up originally, it was very calm. You see the wind blow a little bit. Z's ready to work. And Ramirez just back into the box now. Cubs are trying to tie their season high in terms of a winning streak. Most they've won is 3. They've done that twice. Still haven't gotten really hot yet. Game over 500 at 12-11. They won't see the Marlins again after today until the final day of July. That's a trade day around baseball. First kind of soft deadline, the non-waiver deadline. He came to see the ceremony and needs a little nap.
Hanley Ramirez is one of the more deliberate hitters on this Marlins lineup. He takes a lot of time between pitches, gets out of the batter's box, takes his time digging his toe hold, getting back in there, and fouling off numerous pitches. He'll take a little stroll over toward the third base side.
Ready to go, Hanley? All right. Another 3-2. Ball 4. It's a leadoff walk. Visit the official online shop of the Chicago Cubs at Cubs.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic team gear, including clubhouse caps and t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the Cubs.com shop. Cantu knocked in a run with a broken bat ground out as Ramirez runs. Got a pretty good jump. Tag applied. Out. Z and Gio teaming up to nail Hanley Ramirez. Thought he got a good jump, but we know how quick Carlos is to the plate. And Soto nailed him.
Good to see Giovanni Soto throw a laser beam down there to second base. He had some shoulder issues coming out of spring training. A lot of his throws in the early going weren't that firm, but that time got it down there quickly. Nice tag down there by Aaron Miles as well. Nice quick slap tag.
And Cantu is out in front, and he popped it up. Terrio's going out, and Soriano calls him off to make the catch. Well, that's a big turn. It's not a double play, but took a couple of pitches. Felt like a double play. All of a sudden, 2 outs, nobody on.
After that extended at bat by Hanley Ramirez, he was immediately nabbed stealing, and then a quick pop up by Cantu. You got to love that.
Ugla pops it up. Aaron Miles makes a catch. Z into battle. Ramirez to start the inning. Just a few pitches to get out of it. 1-1.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. And may you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. And may your heart always be joyful. And may your song always be sung. Sing it. May you stay forever young. May you stay forever young.
Every generation refreshes the world.
Cool.
See you tomorrow, Steve.
Tony Stewart. Thank you, Tony.
Tony? Armor All wash, wipes, and tire shines. Go ahead, stare. And to clean your car while you shine, try Armor All Protectant.
Any given time, this music is playing in a woman's head. Ready? And that the smallest conversation can just go so south. It's like, Owen, are you hungry, Owen? I'm like, no. She's like, where did you eat? I'm like, I ate at Wendy's. She's like, Wendy's? Who the hell is Wendy? I'm like,
Everybody got here early for the Fergie Jenkins, Greg Maddux jersey retirement ceremony. They've watched a pitcher's duel early on, 1-1. Milton Bradley leading off for the Cubs. Velasco rocks and fires on a 1-0. It's a breaking ball to make it 1-1. At some point, Bradley's going to get really hot. Derek Lee's going to get really hot. Ramirez is going to be back in the lineup. And it could all happen at the same time. One guy could maybe carry it for a few days. He went around 1-2. The track record's there. Derek off to a slow start. Same for Bradley. Aramis off to a good start, but hasn't played much lately.
I mean, ideally, you get everybody in the lineup hot from day one through the end of the season, and everybody's swinging the bat well and pitching well. But the reality is guys go through slumps during the course of the season, and teams that are successful and able to maintain a good winning percentage can really ham and egg it. They can put it together well. When one guy's slumping, somebody else gets hot, and then when that guy cools off, the other guy gets hot.
Oh, what a play by Cantu as he spins, picks it with a backhand, and gets Bradley.
The 2009 Chicago Cubs baseball season on WGN is brought to you by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Starting to see some sailboats out on the lake. Lake temperature in the low to mid 50s. You usually jump in around what, 57, 58 degrees. That's when you like.
Yeah, usually just to get my heart started in the morning.
Strike to Fontenot.
Starting to see more and more boats out on the lake. The weather's starting to get a little nicer.
Fontenot bounced it off his foot.
Boy, what a picture. What a view. That's what we have to look at every day from up here in the press box. Well, Mike Fontenot's not allowed to be hurt. He just fouled a ball off his front leg, but he's not allowed to be hurt. Cubs have so many guys on that walking wounded list right now that you're just going to have to play through some of those minor bumps and bruises.
The 2-strike pitch is wide. Velasco getting it up to 95 that time. 1-2. Cardinals and Nationals have been rained out. So no game in D.C. today. Houston is in Atlanta. It's 4-4. Braves just tied it in the bottom of the 6th. Lefties started today in that one. Wandy Rodriguez and Jojo Reyes, they're both out. Milwaukee leading 3-0 over the Diamondbacks in the 6th. High deep drive for Fontenot, and it will go. A home run. It's 2-1 Cubs. I thought Fontenot was Babe. You've been calling Terrio Babe.
Two of the smallest guys on the roster flexing their muscles here in the past few days. Well, I tell you, Mike Fontenot, when he gets a hit where he can look for a pitch, he can hit him as hard as anybody on this roster. Our Southwest, how far did it fly? 381 feet deep into the bleachers in right center field.
Cubs have their first lead. Only Soriano has more home runs on the Cubs, and Mike Fontenot, who now has 5. Soriano was 7.
What was that, the bobblehead that Carlos and Mike had going there in the dugout, standing there nose to nose, bobbing their heads up and down?
Soto gets a hold of one, but it'll be caught. It's Cody Ross. 2 outs.
Well, that foot feels a lot better now after he fouled the ball off it earlier in this at bat. When you finish an at bat like this, all your pains go away. Mentioned the wind blowing out today, but he didn't need any help on that one.
One and nothing to Aaron Miles. He tied it with a double in the 2nd. Sharply hit ground ball. Ramirez backhanding and barely getting Aaron Miles. That'll end the inning. But Little Babe Ruth, I guess that's Ron's nickname for Mike Fontenot. 2-1 on the home run.
Extreme 3, the only disposable with 3 flexible pivoting blades and 2 conditioning strips for a smooth, comfortable shave. Chic Extreme 3, for your skin.
Check.
Strength meets intelligence. The surprisingly efficient Ridgeline, built by Honda.
Where's my car? Where's my car? Where are you?
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles with 2 different gels for softness and support are outrageously comfortable.
Not too far.
Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl's.
Nobody has to tell you these are tough times. That's why it's a good time to get back under the hood, to keep that car running longer, and do everything you can to make sure a small job doesn't turn into a costly one. And AutoZone is here to help every step of the way. We're the one place you'll find the expertise, tools, and advice you can trust to help you do the job right the first time. Because do it yourself doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
It's raining out there.
So what do you guys want to do?
Make Rice Krispie treats.
How many cups is it?
6.
Oh, it's not 6 yet. Whoa, where's the pan?
Over there.
All right. Push it down, push it down.
Thank you for helping.
It's amazing what you can make out of a rainy day. Childhood is calling.
WWE Superstars.
I am Jeff Hardy. Watch me defy the odds.
WWE Superstars. Expect everything.
We get into the 5th. Zambrano versus Hermida, ball 1. Mike Fontenot giving the Cubs the lead, 2-1. Long home run to right. Want to congratulate Sheila Glasscott and Mark Hermes on their engagement. And also want to send out birthday wishes to Wynn Griffiths of our crew, who decided not to spend his birthday with us.
Oh.
Wynn is off today.
Guess I'll have to take his gift home with me tonight.
Oh, he'll be here tomorrow. You can give it to him then.
Also, a big hello to Mrs. Hanaway, the kindergarten teacher at DeMott Elementary School in Indiana, from her class. They say she's an amazing and gifted teacher. Big Cubs fan, too.
Up the middle and a base hit, the first of the series for Hermida. Now let's move forward with Toyota. Find out who's moving forward. Drive right up the scoreboard. Fergie Jenkins with the Chicago Cubs. Both he and Greg Maddux had a couple different stints in a Cubs uniform. His only game against the Cubs was back in 1965. Suffered his first major league loss September 21st. A lot of interesting Ed Hardig notes on both Jenkins and Maddux. Not a big surprise.
Nearly half of his starts ended in complete games. That's just truly amazing in this day and age, where if we can get a starter through 5 or 6 innings, the pitching coach is usually pretty happy with that.
That's today's Toyota moving forward, thanks to Toyota. Fergie tied a major league record at 5 1-0 losses in one season, 1968. Very close at first, and Hermida just got back in. Once Fergie appeared in a game and didn't pitch. Final day of August in 1967, he pinch ran for Ernie Banks in the 11th and scored the winning run, 2-1 over the Mets. Driven to left in front of Soriano, and the Marlins are threatening. They have 2 on with nobody out. Lefty coming up. Ross Gload as we check on Cody Ross. Got a fastball up, and he knocked it into left.
Belt high, middle of the plate. Now, if there is any good news in this situation, as you mentioned, the 8-hitter at the plate now in Glow, the pitcher in the on-deck circle. Nobody warming up in the Marlins bullpen at this point.
Fontenot in at third, Lee playing behind Ross at first. Off the glove of Zambrano, little flip by Terrio. Safe at first. They got one at second as he was able to slow it down. They're at the corners with one out with a pitcher coming up. Nice dig by D. Lee, but Glow beat the relay throw.
Zambrano just able to get a piece of this rocket back up the middle of the field. That was headed right for his face. Actually went between his glove and his body, deflected it, and Terrio with the backhanded shovel on to Miles. Very close over there at first base. As you mentioned, a nice dig by Derek Lee, but I do think Glow got there just ahead of the ball.
I think you're right. Because it hit the dirt, it slowed it down. Fielder's choice 164 on the deflection. This is a spot where Z would like to strike out Ricky Nolasco. I haven't hit a ground ball to Terrio. Bo Porter's going to talk to Nolasco, a former Cub. Some more Fergie Jenkins. How about this? 14 times he went at least 10 innings. He went 12 innings on May 7th, 1969. Make sure you check out our WGN baseball blog, WGNTV.com. I have a post on Maddux and Jenkins. We have a take on the trade that brought Jenkins to the Cubs. Bunted foul by Nolasco. He's trying to move the runner from first into scoring position. So go to WGNTV.com, click on sports, look for the link to Len and Bob's blog. Game notes from our friends at Stats as well. Little tapper, and Hermida caught between third and home, and Gio threw to first, and Hermida was right behind him. They had Hermida caught up between third and home. He was waiting to see what Soto wanted to do. At the very least, he was going to get into a rundown. And it's a tie ball game. So Nolasco will get an RBI. Their two knocked in have been on ground balls.
Boy, and you're right. Hermida came way down the line. He was in no man's land right there. All Giovanni Soto has to do is turn around and look him in the eye, and you've got him in a rundown. Not sure if Gio didn't realize where Hermida was or was just so focused on picking up the ball and getting the out at first. But, boy, that's too bad that run scored. One more look at it from this angle. You'll see how close. Whoops. I mean, the runner was close enough. Gio could have turned and ran right at him and probably tagged him out himself. A little topper out there on the third base side. And one thing also on that picture, you could see that Carlos Zambrano was focused on the baseball as well. Sometimes you can get help from your pitcher as a catcher when you're going out there after that ball.
Bonifacio swings and misses and is tagged out to end the inning, but they tie it up. The pitcher knocks in the tying run. It's 2-2.
Instability, bad.
Nailed it.
Drinkability, good. Not too heavy, not too light. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
I was in the grocery store when I had a heart attack. My daughter was with me. I took a Bear aspirin out of my purse and chewed it. My doctor said the Bear aspirin saved my life. Please talk to your doctor about aspirin and your heart. I'm going to be grandma for a long time.
It's good to get away.
What is this?
This is a travel napping, and I want you to stop wasting your money.
We got a good deal.
I can find a better deal than that in my sleep, if I slept. At Priceline, you can name your own price and save up to half off on hotels.
That's way less than Expedia.
Negotiation accomplished.
Hi. What can I get for $1? That's yours. How far can I get with this?
You can get out. How tan can I get for this? That's it? Hi. What can I get for this?
How about crispy, juicy chicken with all the amenities and an irresistible classic known fondly as the McChicken? Huh?
Wow. Now more than ever, McDonald's Dollar Menu.
Detachability, bad.
Now, you see, that's why I don't ride a bike.
Drinkability, good. Not too heavy, not too light. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
On May 16th, Best Buy opens a brand new location on Michigan Avenue, right in the heart of the Magnificent Mile. In honor of the grand opening of the new store, the first 100 customers to visit any of the Chicagoland Best Buy stores will receive a copy of the Fergie Jenkins and Greg Maddux print that was given out to the first 5,000 fans at today's game. In addition, the 7 Best Buy stores located in the city of Chicago will give away one print autographed by Fergie and Greg to a lucky Best Buy customer. Best Buy is a proud sponsor of your 2009 Chicago Cubs. Tie game 2-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Ricky Nolasco picking up his 12th career RBI to tie it. And the 1-0 to Zambrano is rolled barely foul. Almost hit the corner of first base.
Well, they would need to hit the corner of the base to keep it away from Jorge Cantu. We talked about it earlier in the game. This Marlins team has been flopping all over the field, making plays in this series. Alfredo Amezaga at shortstop in the first 2 games. Emilio Bonifacio at third base. We saw Hermida make a diving catch in the outfield, and Cantu has snared several ground balls that appeared to be headed for that right field corner.
1-1. Z lays down a beautiful bunt. Nolasco pick it up, and it's way late on the throw. How about Big Z?
Well, Z pays attention to the game. Saw the third baseman Bonifacio playing way back. He showed bunt on the first pitch and then dropped the bunt down on the third pitch, and this is not what you want to see.
Stretching out an infield hit, and that athletic trainer Mark O'Neill is out. Yeah, this is what you worry about.
When you bunt for a base hit, you know you're going to have to bust it down that first baseline. It's not like you can break it down and be sure you're going to make it safely, and Carlos was really going hard. Just a little hitch in his giddy up there after he hit the bag at first base, trying to walk it off now.
So Lewis out. He'll get the report from Mark O'Neill. I bet Z's a tough guy to deal with in this spot. He never wants to come out. As you say, they all lie.
Yeah, they do.
They saw something here. Lou hasn't heard what he wants to hear just yet. He's still going to go out and talk to Carlos even after getting the report from Mark O'Neill.
Well, apparently he's content now. In the meantime, just in case, the Cubs got some quick activity down in their bullpen. Angel Guzman started to play some catch down there.
Looks like it's the left leg of Zambrano. don't think he's going to be stealing. One strike on Soriano.
It appeared he was grabbing or rubbing at the back of his left leg, maybe a slight hamstring strain. It looks like Carlos is saying that he doesn't think he can go. Took his lead off down there at first base on the first pitch to Soriano, and normally Carlos bounces off that base trying to advance on to second should Soriano put the ball in play, but he took his lead off and just stayed in that position, went back to the bag and told Matt Sinatra he thinks he's had enough.
Yeah, I think he's done. So just as the Cubs are ready to welcome back Aramis Ramirez to the lineup tomorrow night, they're going to lose their starting pitcher today to a leg injury, what appears to be a hamstring, and lose. Asking for volunteers to pinch run, I guess.
I think whoever it is that he wants to pinch run for Zambrano isn't in the dugout right now, which would make you think perhaps it's another pitcher that he wants to use to pinch run in this situation. We talked about the short bench that he's operating with. We know Rich Harden's got real good speed of the guys in the starting rotation.
Thinking it's Ted Lilly going to grab his spikes.
Now, sometimes when you're operating with a short bench, you will tell one or two of your starting pitchers to bring their cleats out to the bench with them in the event something just like this happens. But certainly you don't anticipate Carlos pulling a hamstring running down to first base. So it appears it was Ted Lilly that had to run up to the clubhouse and put on his cleats.
While we have a moment, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
Out of Side Retro Night tonight, starting at 5 East 2 West on WGN America.
It is Rich Harden who's going to run. For Zambrano, went 5 innings.
Maybe they send Harden and Lilly both up to the clubhouse, and whichever one gets your cleats on first gets to pinch run.
Kind of interesting. Florida was very upset. The Marlins actually, I think, went to Major League Baseball after Jerry Manuel really had a long delay in getting a pinch hitter in that series against the Mets. I think the Marlins won that game. As Soriano lines one to left, and Hermida will catch it for the first out. And I read, Bob, where Jerry Manuel or the Mets were fined for that. Now this is a different spot here with the injury. I guess a little gamesmanship by the Mets. They were trying to ice the closer.
And I also think in that game, if I read properly, the guy they wanted to use for the pinch hitter was down in the bullpen. So he had to come in from the bullpen out behind the outfield fence all the way into the dugout, grab his bat, grab his helmet, and it took a little bit too long, and the Mets were levied a fine.
Terrio looks at one high. Well, let's hope it's nothing serious, and Z will have 4 days before his next start. 5 including today, I guess, but 4 in between. And hopefully he'll be ready to go on Friday in Milwaukee.
Well, in the past, Carlos has had some hydration issues that have caused some cramping, and we certainly don't know at this point. We'll let you know as soon as we do, but hopefully that's all it is.
Terrio bunts towards third. It's a beauty. Back-to-back bunt singles. They're wearing out the grass down that third base line. Terrio okay? Is he fine? A little worried.
Yeah, we told you earlier in the series, Bonifacio is really a second baseman by trade. He's playing third base for the Marlins from time to time, and he's made some great plays from his normal position, but the Cubs testing him here, dropping a couple of perfect bunts down that third base line. No play at all, Ontario.
So both hits in the inning. Bunt singles sandwiched around a line out to left by Soriano, and it's Kosuke who has flied out twice. Diving catch by Hermida in the first, and a fly out to center in the third. A rocket to right, and it's dropped. Harden on his way to third. He'll get there as he went all the way back to second. Glow just couldn't catch it, and they're loaded up for D. Lee. Calling it an error.
Alfonso Soriano hits a lot of top spin line drives to left field. This time it's Kosuke hitting a top spin line drive to right field, and Glode had all kinds of trouble. Immediately started back, then tried to come in and make the backhanded catch. He could only knock it down, and good thing for the Cubs, he just fired that ball back toward the pitcher's mound because Rich Harden had gone all the way back to second base.
Batting next, first baseman Derek Lee.
Three on, one out. The pitch to Lee. Ball one. Big grand slam a couple of days ago by Ryan Theriot. That's when the Cubs were down 3. They're in a tie game today. And a 1-0 pitch. High fly ball to center. Very well hit. Grand slam. Derek Lee clears him. It's 6-2 Cubs. Big Z, even though he left due to injury, has a chance to win it today.
But the fans want a curtain call.
It hasn't been easy for Derek this year. Off to a slow start. And they want him to come out after his second homer in 2 days.
Well, you know, and the Cubs have not done a lot of big damage with the bases loaded this year. Coming into this series against the Marlins, they only had one extra base hit with the bases loaded. And this is the second grand slam of the series. Derek Lee going to straightaway center field. Our Southwest, how far did it fly? 410 feet, and 4 runs for the good guys.
Ball one to Milton Bradley. Ninth career granny for Lee. Florida's given up 5 already this year. Second one of the series for the Cubs, both giving them the lead. I think that's the first home run we've seen this year off the batter's eye. Went straight away center as Bradley taps to Cantu, takes it unassisted.
It's good to see that ball jumping off of Derek Lee's bat once again. It came on a breaking ball in the middle of the plate. Didn't try to pull it, just stayed right on that ball to straightaway center field. That one fan leaning over mocking Cody Ross in center field. I thought he was trying to catch the home run ball, but the home run ball went way past him.
Fontenot with a go-ahead home run in the fourth, and Florida tied it in the top of this inning. We'll see Angel Guzman in the sixth, up to the bullpen for the final 4 innings. Dan Meyer up for the Marlins. Swung very playable and caught for the 3rd out. Derek Lee with a grand slam to break a 2-2 tie. Fans were on their feet till they got the curtain call. It's 6-2.
Turn on your TV. Tonight to WGN America.
It's starting.
It's Out of Sight Retro Night.
Simple, uncluttered television with heart.
Tonight at 5 East 2 West. Only on WGN America.
Don't touch that dial.
You're not like everyone else. No, you are a penny picker-upper. And you realize that a found penny isn't just a penny, it's the world's tiniest trophy. In honor of your saving savvy, CC's is dropping 1 million special pennies on the sidewalks around our restaurants. Some worth much more than a penny. It's what you'd expect from the home of the endless pizza buffet for $5 and change. So get to it. There's a penny out there with your name on it.
If you look at the last 6 months, I think you'll agree that the production growth opportunity that we have for us would...
What is that? That's the money you could be saving with Geico. Tell me who's watching.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Snapple.
Jim, we found better stuff.
What?
Look at this stuff.
That's good stuff.
Natural stuff.
Big news, everyone. We found better stuff.
What stuff?
This stuff.
I love that stuff.
I thought we already had the best stuff. Yeah, but this is better stuff.
It's the new stuff. Looks like the same stuff. This stuff's better.
Healthy green tea, tasty black tea, real sugar.
That's the stuff.
The best stuff on earth just got better.
6-2 on Derek Lee's grand slam to straightaway center. One of those runs unearned because of the error by Ross Globe. Angel Guzman takes over as Carlos Zambrano left after beating out a bunt single. Still waiting on word on what the injury is, but some sort of left leg situation. 1-0 on John Baker. The pitch right down the middle at 96. 1-1. Tough part of the order. Ramirez and Cantu coming up after John Baker. Giants come in for 2 tomorrow night and Tuesday afternoon. And it's back to the road. Houston for 2, Milwaukee for 3. And then the Cubs will have their next off day after 20 straight without one. Florida heads home to play the Reds and the Braves. inside 3-2.
Well, the Giants, a team that is pitching very well. They're playing real good defense. They're not doing too much offensively in the early going this season. A .249 team batting average, only 13 home runs in the early going this season.
Jason Hamill for the Rockies today. Barry Zito for the Giants later. Soriano's back on this ball, keeps carrying, hits the bottom of the basket. He throws towards second, but late as Baker slides in with a leadoff double. Ball really shot off the bat of John Baker.
Look at it here. It was hit crisply the opposite way, but it really carried a long way. Got a lot of backspin. The ball got up in the wind and just continued to carry. Soriano once again playing that carom perfectly off the wall, but Baker hustling all the way, slides in with a double.
Brings up Hanley Ramirez, who has doubled, walked, and been caught stealing. Other action. The Reds behind Johnny Cueto are in the ninth, leading 5-0 at Pittsburgh. Cueto has allowed 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk. He has panned 9 through 8. And the Diamondbacks just tied the Brewers with 3 in the 7th. Three home runs, Reynolds, Upton, and Montero to tie it. The 2-0 pitch. Angel missed again. It's 3-0.
But Brian Knight has had a microscopic strike zone for both teams today. Pitches on the corner either in or out. He's not giving the pitchers much to work with. They got to throw the ball over the white part of the plate.
A left hamstring strain is what knocked Zambrano out of the game. The 3-1 inside, ball 4. Hey, podcast fans, Bob and I will be recording a new podcast after today's game, up for viewing soon. You check out our podcast studios for today. 3131 is the address. Download it on WGNTV.com. Click on the sports header, look for the link, click, download, and enjoy. We'll be heading over to our studios to record one after the game today. Larry Rothschild is out.
I'll tell you, Len, watching the early pitches of Angel Guzman here in this inning, he's really throwing the ball well. Good velocity. He's got good movement. A couple of borderline calls did not go his way. Ended up walking Hanley Ramirez, but I think Larry Rothschild is probably reaffirming to Angel, you've got good stuff today. Your ball's moving well. Just throw it for the middle of the strike zone and let it go. Try to get a ground ball here. Limit the damage.
Current score is 31 doubled. 6-2. Cubs hoping it remains that way, but the Marlins are threatening big time. Big swing by Cantu. He likes that fastball. 1 strike.
He likes to hit fastballs from the middle of the plate in. He also likes to pick on hanging breaking balls. Those curveballs and sliders that stay over the heart of the plate and up a little bit. Of course, who doesn't?
That's fair. Behind first, and it gets away from Derek Lee. Still time, but Angel took his foot off the bag and then dropped it. Very discombobulated play. The ball had a lot of English on it. Derek could not get it. But then when he did, he still had time, but Guzman was out of rhythm.
Yeah, rhythm is a good word to use. You see from our Southwest Sky Cam, Derek gets over there. The ball takes a squirrely hop right at the end. They still got time to get the out, but Angel Guzman, for whatever reason, pulled his foot off the bag, then took his eye off the ball to look back and see where the bag was and couldn't make the play. Boy, so much of this game defensively is rhythm.
The error goes to Guzman, and an assist given to Derek Lee. They are loaded up for Dan Uggla. The Cubs grabbed the lead on a grand slam by D. Lee, and now the Marlins are a swing away with a home run hitter at the plate. Uggla finally made some contact against Carlos Zambrano. He came in with 4 strikeouts and 4 at-bats, 3 walks. He went 0 for 2 against Z. He did fly to the warning track in the first inning. Fly ball sending Kosuke back. And he makes a catch. Nicely done. It'll be a sac fly for Uggla. Here's a play at third base. Gets away and hits the barrier, allowing Cantu to get to second as Ramirez either got a very late start. I'm not quite sure. I guess he was not tagging. He went back to the bag after the ball was caught, and that's why he almost got thrown out at third. And there'll be another error on the Cubs on this play because Cantu got an extra base.
Boy, just the slightest hesitation as you see Fukudome make that great running catch on the warning track. Aaron Miles had gone out to be the lead cutoff man on this play. Fukudome spins around and gets the ball back in quickly. Just right there, that slight hesitation as Miles looked home first, then to third base, and his throw got away from Fontenot.
The error goes on Miles on that throw. 2 errors in the inning. It's 6-3 and 1 strike on Hermida. Well, they haven't won when they commit an error, but they do lead. And Guzman trying to work out of some trouble. Popped him up. That'll help. Terrio catches it. 2 outs. Brings up Cody Ross.
I'll tell you, Len, on that discombobulated play there, I was a little surprised that Ramirez tried to go to third base. He had gone almost 3/4 of the way to third as that ball was in the air, ran all the way back to tag up as the ball was in the air to Aaron Miles, the cutoff man, and decided to still go ahead and try to advance to third base. A good throw would have had him by a mile.
The 0-1. Lee to Guzman. Inning over. They got 1. Could have been a lot worse. Cubs lead 6-3.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi. Refresh everything. Visit refresheverything.com.
Yeah. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. And may you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. And may your heart always be joyful. And may your song always be sung. May you stay forever young. May you stay forever young.
Every generation refreshes the world.
Cool.
When your neighbors ask who does your lawn, just open your garage. Excellent maneuverability. Wide range of cutting decks. Craftsman. Innovations, the broadest selection, and better value. No wonder Craftsman is among America's most trusted brands.
My doctor told me I had to start doing things for my heart, but I wasn't ready to give up taste. Sometimes sacrifice is the name of the game.
Well, I've heard eating whole grain oats can help lower my cholesterol. It's going to be a challenge.
Sure, we want to lower our cholesterol, but let's be real. Being healthy is tough.
Yeah. Honey Nut Cheerio cereal tastes great and can help lower cholesterol.
Be happy, be healthy.
Try Apple Cinnamon Cheerios. Baked in apple with a daring amount of cinnamon.
John Cena on WWE Superstars. Expect everything.
Now today's Honda Accord game summary. Visit your Honda dealer. Test drive a 2009 Honda Accord. A couple of groundouts early for the Marlins plating runs, but Derek Lee with a big blow, a grand slam, the 9th of his career. Zambrano had to exit early with a strained left hamstring. It's 6-3 as Soto leads off the bottom of the 6th. Hit hard and foul through the bullpen. Aaron Heilman was fantastic yesterday. I guess he broke out a splitter and it worked. Struck out the side in the 9th.
It's funny how that works, Len. Sometimes a pitcher will experiment with a pitch, and on some days he can really feel it and use it effectively in a ball game. Other days he'll go down there to warm up in the bullpen. It just won't be there for him. But had a good one going yesterday.
Swing and a miss to make it 2-2 on Soto as he just bashed himself in the helmet. Not real happy with that swing. And maybe the pitch selection. He's telling himself, why did I swing at it in the first place? And now he fouls one off his foot. This hasn't been a very fun at bat.
Well, and I always felt that the last thing to come for a hitter in spring training was your pitch recognition. Narrowing down your strike zone, swinging at pitches you knew you could handle, and laying off those borderline pitches. And Gio was still working to get to that point. That awkward swing we saw a couple of pitches ago, a perfect example of that. Started the bat, recognized the pitch after he started his swing, as opposed to recognizing the pitch and then starting your swing. A little better that time. Saw the hanging breaking ball, waited back with his hands, fouled it straight back off the mask of John Baker.
A lot of people out and about in Wrigleyville on this beautiful Sunday. Well, I love Gio's quote near the end of spring training. So basically, regarding his Rookie of the Year season, last year's last year. It's already been paid for that. Doesn't mean anything this season. He'll have to work as hard, if not harder, to match it or improve on it. Got him. Called strike 3.
Well, certainly a great honor for Giovanni Soto winning that Rookie of the Year award, but what it does is put a target on your back, and also you draw a lot more attention in the advance meeting when you have a year like Giovanni Soto did last year. He was a definite force offensively for this Cubs ball club, and teams are going to pay a lot more attention to him this year.
Guzman is on deck, and there's nobody warming in the bullpen, so he's going to take the at bat. Seen Rich Harden used as a pinch runner. Unless Heilman's ready. A lot of it might depend on what happens here with Aaron Miles. Two and two.
I would guess Heilman is close enough that should Aaron Miles hit a double or a triple, put himself into scoring position, he could bounce back up quickly in that bullpen and get ready to take the mound if Lou decided to pinch hit for Guzman at that point. There's veteran pitchers in that bullpen. They know not to waste bullets. They know how long it takes them to get loose. They know how close they are, and no reason to just stand out there and keep throwing if you're at a position where you know with 8 more warm-up pitches on the game mound you'll be ready to go.
3-2 on the way, and a fly ball right center. Glode will catch it.
Well, and now with 2 outs and nobody on base, Guzman will indeed take the at bat and go back out and start the next top half of the inning. Is turned around here at Wrigley Field. We talked about it in the early going, was blowing pretty much straight out, occasionally out to right center, but now the flag's on that right field foul pole blowing across toward the left field pole, and you can feel the cooler air coming off the lake now.
Natural air conditioning feels good. A little breeze from that swing too. Verlander over Lee today as the Tigers beat Cleveland 3-1 in Detroit. Brandon Inge with 8 home runs. He hit his 8th today. Pop up, and it's caught for the final out by Cantu. On to the 7th. Cubs 6, Marlins 3.
The only disposable with 3 flexible pivoting blades and 2 conditioning strips for a smooth, comfortable shave. Chic Extreme 3 for your skin.
Feeling back pain? Dr. Scholl's back pain relief orthotics with shock guard technology give you immediate relief that lasts all day long. Dr. Scholl's pain relief is a step away.
Nobody has to tell you these are tough times. That's why it's a good time to get back under the hood. To keep that car running longer and do everything you can to make sure a small job doesn't turn into a costly one. And AutoZone is here to help every step of the way. We're the one place you'll find the expertise, tools, and advice you can trust to help you do the job right the first time. Because do it yourself doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Hi. What can I get for $1?
That's yours.
How far can I get with this?
You can get out.
How tan can I get for this? That's it? Hi. What can I get for this?
How about crispy, juicy chicken with all the amenities and an irresistible classic known fondly as the McChicken? Huh?
Wow.
Now more than ever, McDonald's Dollar Menu.
Time for today's Bud Light Fan Cam. We dedicate it to one of the Cubs' all-time greats, a little Fergie for Fergie. That's Fergie with Glamorous. Speaking of glamorous, here he is. I like that segue. Greg Maddux.
Thank you.
In the booth with us. That was today's Bud Light Fan Cam. And Greg, congratulations. What was it like being down on the field and being honored today?
Yeah, it was a tremendous feeling. I didn't realize how much I missed baseball until today. I mean, I did pretty good about staying out of it for the last month and a half, but being back here at Wrigley kind of makes you want to go out there and start playing again.
23 years, and you were with the Padres briefly in spring training. I guess this is a question you'll be asked a lot. Do you ever want to get back into it full time? I know you have young kids. You'd like to see them grow up, but is that something you'd like to do at some point?
Well, right now, no. Right now, I do want to watch my kids grow up. I'm enjoying being at home, enjoying watch the games on the couch at night.
Soriano with the catch.
And, we'll see down the road. I love baseball. I love watching it. I love following it. I love being around the game. Maybe down the road something might come up. But right now I'm content at home and living in Vegas and enjoying it.
Must have been fun to catch Chase's first pitch. Bob said maybe overthrowing a little bit. He was amped up, but that was a neat moment.
Yeah, it was cool. We try to tell him don't sacrifice stuff for location. Let it fly. And
that's great.
He did that right there. I think it's good to be wild sometimes.
That's right. Effectively wild. A Mezzica pinch hitting for Nolasco.
Greg, I got to ask you. We talked about it on the air last year. Again today. We saw you at Dodger Stadium. The last time you were with the Cubs. It was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The extra guys, the rookies, were out there taking batting practice, and you were sitting on the bench with a roster trying to figure out who the heck these guys were. When you watch a hitter that maybe you're not real familiar with, what do you look for?
Well, I think the first thing you do is you kind of pull up the stat sheet to just kind of look at his numbers and see, is this a guy that steals 30, 40 bases, or is he hitting 30, 40 home runs? Just to kind of get going that way. And you just watch him. You just try to watch him and try to get to know him. Just watch how they walk, how they swing the bat, and then when the game starts, hopefully you'll remember, oh yeah, I watched him, and just kind of get to know who the guys are.
2 outs here in the inning. I'm not sure exactly who all is singing. Are we going to have a big group in here? Do you have any? Are you conducting today, or Fergie's coming in?
I think Fergie's singing. I think
right.
I'm going to watch Fergie sing.
Okay. Well, he's going to grab the mic. We'll talk to Fergie in the bottom of the 7th. Got to put your jersey on here, Greg.
All right.
Yeah, nobody will know who you are if you don't have your jersey on.
All right. Yeah, we need that.
And we never want to cut you off mid-sentence, but the 3rd out is made. We're going to have to do that for you guys to sing. But in brief, if we can, there are a lot of things out there about you maybe giving up home runs on purpose in spring training. I mean, how much of that stuff did you read about that you just laugh and say, I fooled him again?
Well, I think there are certain hitters in the league that you're absolutely scared to death of. And I think those guys in spring training, you throw them a pitch you'll never want to throw them in your life, because it really doesn't matter what they do. So, you try to get something for them to remember you by, and hopefully they never see it again.
Well, good stuff. Did you have it all figured out early in your career, or did it take you a while?
Still trying to figure things out.
Yeah, right. Good answer. All right, guys. 7th inning stretch.
Today's guest conductors for Take Me Out to the Ball Game are Cubs legends Fergie Jenkins and Greg Maddux.
All right, let's go, everybody. We got to put some defense on them and hold them, all right? 1, 2, 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if we ever get back, or it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. All right, Cubbies, let's go.
That hits the spot. It's drinkability. Means Bud Light is good wherever you are. If you're at a party, or playing golf, like those guys, or at the bar.
Drawing on the door.
Don't say draw.
Never filling, always refreshing. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
7 aces.
Hey, everybody, check this out. Who wants white meat?
Tradition meets innovation. The surprisingly efficient Ridgeline, built by Honda.
By now, you've heard that Antenna TV is going all digital.
and the nationwide switch to digital TV has moved to a new date, June 12th. But you don't have to wait until June 12th to enjoy free digital TV. Upgrade your antenna TV with a converter box or buy a new digital set. Use the right antenna and start enjoying free digital television now. Visit dtvanswers.com or call 888-CALL-FCC to learn more about the June 12th switch to digital TV.
6-3 Cubs. Fergie Jenkins is now with us, the Hall of Famer, and between innings, I said to Greg Maddux, I said, it looks a little different up here. He said, it looks a lot slower up here. Every former player, Fergie, every one of them who comes up here says the exact same thing.
I don't know if it's slower. This is a great view.
It is a great view. Does it look a little easier up here?
It probably is.
Yeah.
You know, I could probably call better pitches up here than what I've thrown, for sure.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did it feel down there today as Kiko Calero will take over for Florida in the 7th?
Well, you know, I always thought to come into Wrigley Field, going on the field, was like opening day. I had plenty of adrenaline going. I was never nervous because this is what I lived for, to play baseball and to have fun.
Well, you were so great at it, and some of the numbers we mentioned in the ceremony are just mind-boggling, particularly considering what pitching is like today. 30 complete games in a season, over 300 innings. That was no big deal to you, but
yeah, I wouldn't want to get taken out in the 7th inning and I'm winning 2-1. I would have considered, not that the manager's making a good move, but if I wasn't tired, man, that's my game to win. And that's what Leo used to always say to me. You know, he'd walk by me on the bench and say, hey, this is your game, big fella. Or in the bullpen prior to the game, before we started, he says, hey, don't look for help. We're giving the bullpen a rest.
All right, Skip, thanks.
Yes, that's it.
Let's go get him. You and Greg both with your old battery mates, Jody Davis with Greg and Randy Hundley with you.
I mean, both great catchers. Jody was a little better hitter than Randy, but they both called excellent games.
Soriano fouls it back. A great moment. You have to take the victory lap today and see a lot of old friends.
Yeah, Beckert. Beck was my best man at my wedding in Oklahoma, and I've known the guys ever since I came over in '66. I mean, they're like brothers.
Weather cooperated, just ideal conditions.
Yeah, I left Toronto, it was raining, and I said, well, I hope it's nice in Chicago, blue skies.
A lot of birds flying around the ballpark as Soriano strikes out. Can you remember any weird, I mean, what was like the weirdest moment here in terms of the weather, or birds flying around, or anything in particular in this park?
Well, I had it snow here a couple of times opening day, you know, and this is mid-April, 8th or 9th of April, once against the Mets, and I think another time against either Pittsburgh that it snowed. Had a half-hour delay, and I went right back out there and went to go get him again.
Well, we know Greg Maddux likes to get out on the golf course and spank that little white ball around whenever he can. What do you like to do to relax?
Well, I play golf, but I'd rather be fishing if the weather's good. We've got half a dozen decent lakes here in Arizona, and I've got a bass boat, and I fish, and got a few friends that like to go out there and fish. So we'll head out there about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning, fish till maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, head back into town. Lake Pleasant, Lake Saguaro, Lake Apache, you know, so there's fun places to go.
We see you quite a bit, and I know you have your big Fergie and Friends game in Arizona, and spring training, and a lot of Hall of Famers show up.
That was fun, you know, to have Bob Feller there, and Raleigh, and a few other Hall of Famers. Well, Hall of Fame basketball player Meadowlark, and Bobby Bell, Hall of Fame football player. So, I mean, guys, they have their own charities they support, and when you call upon them to come to your event, they say, hey, I've got 2-3 days, and they show up.
2-2 to Ryan Theriot. Cubs lead 6-3 as they're trying to win their 3rd straight to finish off this series. Calero from the wind with nobody on base, and Theriot went around. And this is something, Fergie, Bob and I talk about all the time, and that is, why doesn't the home plate umpire at least ask for a little help? He's trying to call the pitch, and he can also see the swing.
Well,
at least on a borderline.
No, you're right, and that was a pretty good check swing there. And you know, a lot of times they do ask for help, but if they see the play in front of them, they call it right away. He didn't look like he went. His bat wasn't across the plate.
Yeah, I think Ryan had an argument that time, but you're never going to win that one.
No, once they call it, they're not going to change their mind.
So it's Kosuke with 2 outs. Fergie, what are you most proud of in terms of your baseball career?
Well, you know, playing here in Chicago, you know, winning as a pitcher is very important. I think that I learned the game really good in a Philly organization, and I got a chance to display it as a Cub. And then winning on a consistent basis. And then when you're all done, you know, if you got pretty good numbers, the Hall of Fame's waiting. And I had to wait a couple extra years with Gaylord Perry, and I went in with Rod Carew and Gaylord in '91, and that was a proud moment for me and my family. My dad was, at the time, was still alive, and you know, baseball was good to me, and I tried to do the same for the game, and I enjoyed playing. I mean, no better game, I think, that you can put a uniform on, and that's baseball.
Well said. A ball and 2 strikes to Kosuke Fukudome. Checked swing, and he held up this time.
We saw that check swing by Ryan Theriot. Did you get a lot of check swings when you were pitching? I would imagine that hard slider low and away. You got a lot of them.
I did get some slider check swings.
Yeah.
You know, Cincinnati was a ball club that was challenged you all the time. Like Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, Lee May, Tommy Helms. And I'd love to get those check swings.
It's a 1-2-3 7th, and Fergie, we have a little Fergie with Glamorous today for our fan camp. Thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You totally deserve it.
Thank you.
Pretty powerful stuff.
Wow.
I know. Here is no limit.
Unbelievable.
I'm Ozzy Osbourne, and I'm the Prince of Darkness.
The Lich King is the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy.
Well, maybe you're the one who's been riding a crazy train, but I've been the Prince of Darkness since 1979.
There can be only one Prince of Darkness.
World of Warcraft. Try it for free at warcraft.com. How much sugar is in these energy drinks? Let's find out. While waiting, you should know. 5-Hour Energy contains 0 sugar and only 4 calories. Its blend of B vitamins and amino acids can help you feel awake, alert, and productive for hours without the crash or jitters. The answer is 12. Over 12 teaspoons of sugar and 200 calories in these energy drinks. 0 sugar and 4 calories in 5-Hour Energy. There's a reason people choose 5-Hour Energy 2.5 million times a week. 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later.
You're not like everyone else. No, you are a penny picker-upper. And you realize that a found penny isn't just a penny, it's the world's tiniest trophy. In honor of your saving savvy, CC's is dropping 1 million special pennies on the sidewalks around our restaurants. Some worth much more than a penny. It's what you'd expect from the home of the endless pizza buffet for $5 and change. So get to it. There's a penny out there with your name on it.
Carlos Marmol is on. Thanks to Greg Maddux and Fergie Jenkins for spending some time with us today. We got Greg to open up a little bit. Good stuff.
That's not an easy thing to do. I think he's much more relaxed and has allowed more of his personality to come out. That doesn't feel quite so guarded. You know, he didn't want to give away too many secrets when he was still an active pitcher. He would give us the very nuts and bolts if we ask him about it, but he wouldn't go into too much detail. I thought that was great when you asked him about spring training and, you know, throwing pitches to hitters in spring training that they would never see again during the regular season.
Already trying to impart on his son Chase. Never sacrifice location for velocity, right?
Yep.
It's 3-0, so Carlos Marmol, who's been up and down over the last several appearances, trying to get locked in again today. He finally did A couple of days ago, after walking the first 2 in the 8th, he struck out the next 3. And a fastball in there for a strike.
You know, listening to Fergie and Greg Maddux this morning at their press conference, Maddux was talking about something I thought was really interesting, learning how to pitch tired. You know, called strike 2. As a pitcher goes through a ball game, that pitch count starts getting up there a little higher and a little higher. You have to learn how to pitch when you lose a little bit of velocity off your fastball, or you lose some of the sharpness on your breaking ball. And a lot of starting pitchers nowadays, when they get to that point, they're looking at the dugout for help.
High fly ball, and this one might go. It will for Baker. That's his 3rd hit in 4 at bats, a single, a double, and a leadoff home run here in the 8th to make it 6-4.
Baker narrowly missed a home run to left field in his last at bat, doubled high off the wall out there over the head of Alfonso Soriano, and this time goes over to the deeper part of the ballpark in left center and gets one out. Middle of the plate fastball from Marmol. Solid contact, got the ball up in the air. We talked about how the wind has turned, blowing from the right field corner to the left field corner. May have helped that one a little bit.
It sounds simple to say, but as a hitter, when you're facing a guy who has struggled with the strike zone like Marmol, it does relax you a little bit, doesn't it? I mean, it's an uncomfortable at bat as it is, but with the way Carlos has been going, I mean, he's missed by a lot. He hasn't been throwing a lot of borderline pitches.
Well, and a term that hitting coaches and hitters use is keyholing. When you're facing a pitcher who's been erratic with his command, you can really afford to narrow down the pitches that you want to swing at. I'm going to make him throw a ball from the middle of the plate in, from the middle of the thighs down, or up and out over the plate. Whatever it is you want to look for, you can afford to be a little more patient and keyhole that pitcher, make him throw the ball right where you want it.
Outside. Two on Ramirez. He held.
Well, he held up just like Ryan Theriot did.
And Ramirez has now walked 3 times today, and the tying run is going to come up.
Time now to look at today's AM/PM player of the game. Wasn't in there long, but he had an effect on this game. Carlos Zambrano did it on the mound. Also did it defensively, catching a little broken bat pop up back to the middle of the mound and then dropped down a bunt base hit. Greg Maddux would have been proud of him today. Once again, that's our AM/PM player of the game. Too much good stuff.
Wind really kicking up and blowing in off the lake. A little bit right to left. About blew your scorecard right out of the booth.
That was the defensive play of the game. That was going to blow right out into the stands.
So a visit from the pitching coach after a walk to Ramirez, and it's Jorge Cantu. He's 0 for 3. He did reach on an error in the 6th. He drove in a run on a ground ball in the opening inning. Marmol almost caught Ramirez going the other way as he was walking into his lead, but was able to get back just in time. The first pitch to Cantu is a strike on a fastball in the mid-90s. 40,457 packed into Wrigley Field today. Cubs trying to hold on here over the final innings. 0-2. Derek Lee with a grand slam in the 5th to make it 6-2. More power on deck in Dan Uggla. Another checked swing.
We're talking to Fergie about the check swings on that hard slider down low and away, and Cantu able to hold up just like Ryan Theriot did.
I had it on my mind, and we got into the baseball conversation. I wanted to ask Fergie about it, but a little plug for his book that came out recently, From the Cubs to Cooperstown. So check it out. You get an opportunity. And I think you and I will both be first in line if Greg Maddux ever decides to write one. Foul tip, strike 3. That's a big one.
Got away with a hanging slider right there. That's one of those pitches we talk about. It was so bad it worked out good. Slider kind of backed up, stayed up and inside. Cantu had to shorten up his swing, try to get to that ball, and could not.
Uggla hit a sac fly in the 6th. Nice running catch by Fukudome out in deep center. Marmol with only one first pitch strike in this inning. Marmol, a 2-pitch pitcher. Fastball, slider. The secondary pitch is his best pitch. He's just got to find a way to work through these control problems. Two and one.
You know, I don't even know if it's fair to call the slider his secondary pitch. Yeah, we've talked about it many times. When he needs to throw a strike, he's more likely to throw the slider than the fastball.
Pop up by Uggla. Fontenot locates it and able to squeeze it for the out. It was foul. Wind playing tricks.
As his shades on, just keep your feet moving. Come straight down the line at third, briefly into foul territory, and then circles back into fair territory. Boy, any catch of a pop-up on a windy day like this with the bright sunshine above, any catch is a good catch.
One strike to Hermida. According to our friends from Stats versus righties this season, Marmol has thrown his slider a little bit more than his fastball, 51.2%. He throws his fastball versus lefties at a 54.2% clip. Pulled way foul.
Well, what the Carlos Marmol and Larry Rothschild are trying to work to the point where Carlos can get on top of that slider a little bit more. That last one that he threw had good downward movement. When he tries to overthrow it, gets ahead of himself, gets underneath the slider, that's when it flattens out and he has trouble commanding it. I mean, you brought it up yesterday that Lou Piniella warned warned the fans to watch for balls in the dirt down in the bullpen as he's warming up. There's a good one.
A swing and the miss. He gave up the leadoff home run. Then he walked Ramirez, but he got Cantu, Ugla, and Hermida. 2 of them were strikeouts. 6-4 Cubs.
Yeah. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. And may you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. And may your heart always be joyful. And may your song always be sung. Sing it. May you stay forever young. May you stay forever young.
Every generation refreshes the world.
Cool.
From Wagner comes a revolution in power painting. Optimus dual tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual tip technology only from Wagner. And now available at Lowe's. Wagner's new high-performance power painters with Optimus dual tip technology and turbo motor.
As your love has evolved, so have your gifts. From I like you, I really like you. I love you. I will always love you. And sometimes a gift says you mean more to me than anything else in the world. Life insurance from New York Life ensures your loved ones will always be taken care of. With 164 years of financial strength, it's the most selfless gift you can give. New York Life, the company you keep.
Well, like Bill Murray, and what about Bob? He's baby stepping. Gave up a home run, but he was able to find his command. Couple of big strikeouts after the walk to Ramirez, and Carlos Marmol getting this team to the bottom of the 8th with a 2-run lead. What's Sean Marshall doing over there?
That looks like he took the cover off of baseball and is slowly working his way down to the Chewy Chocolate Center.
One and one on Lee. Gave the Cubs a lead with a grand slam to make it 6-2. That was in the 5th. Straightaway center. 1-2 from Calero. It missed badly. Still going to take a while. And then he's going to put it back together again.
Yeah, right. What little kid hasn't done that? I know I wanted to do it for a long time, and my dad told me there was something in the middle of that baseball you don't want to see, son.
Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
WWE Superstars, Thursday at 8 East 8 West on WGN America.
Cubs 6, Marlins 4 in the bottom of the 8th. An 0-for-3 start for Bradley. As Calero's coming in, strike one. And Troy Hawkins trying to close out the Braves as Houston leads 7-5 in the bottom of the 9th. Hawkins filling in for Jose Valverde as their closer. We'll see the Astros Wednesday night in Houston. Reds shut out the Pirates 5-0. Johnny Cueto went 8 to get the win. Cubs closer Kevin Gregg is up. A couple games postponed in the National League. Mets and Phillies, Cardinals and Nationals. Milwaukee got a run in the bottom of the 8th to beat Arizona 4-3. Matt Lindstrom is the Florida closer. I think we haven't seen him in this series.
No.
He throws very hard. Now, you would have remembered if he had pitched. He'd get it up there in the mid to upper 90s.
I think he threw back-to-back days coming into this series, and Freddie Gonzalez was hoping to stay away from him, but it's getting to the point where you need to get your closer some work. You can't let him sit too long.
Rockies and Giants are scoreless in the 4th. It's San Francisco. Dodgers 3, Padres 1 in the 3rd. The Dodgers haven't lost at home. They're 9-0. Swing and the miss. Strike 3. Well, the only other team to retire the number 31, the San Diego Padres. Dave Winfield, or 31. Now retired by the Chicago Cubs. Freddie Gonzalez walking out. Matt Lindstrom's going to come in with 2 outs in the 8th. Calero did a nice job. He retired all 5 he faced. We'll be back. 6-4 Cubs in the 8th.
What can I get for $1?
That's yours.
How far can I get with this?
You can get out.
How tan can I get for this? That's it? Hi. What can I get for this?
How about crispy, juicy chicken with all the amenities and an irresistible classic known fondly as the McChicken? Huh?
Wow.
Now more than ever, McDonald's Dollar Menu.
How much sugar is in these energy drinks? Let's find out. While waiting, you should know. 5-Hour Energy contains 0 sugar and only 4 calories. Its blend of B vitamins and amino acids can help you feel awake, alert, and productive for hours without the crash or jitters. The answer is 12. Over 12 teaspoons of sugar and 200 calories in these energy drinks. 0 sugar and 4 calories in 5-Hour Energy. There's a reason people choose 5-Hour Energy 2.5 million times a week. 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later.
Bonifacio goes from 3rd to left as part of these changes. Wes Helms will take over at the hot corner. He's behind the new pitcher, Matt Lindstrom, who faces Mike Fontenot. Ball 1.
100.
100. Okay, there you go.
Just getting loose.
A lot of walks. Splintered bat, not a big shock, and Fontenot's going to reach. Infield single for Mike.
Lindstrom took a little off that fastball at 96, but got it right in on the hands of Mike Fontenot. Broke his bat. Little slow roller through that grass on the right side. Well, you hustle down that line on everything, able to beat it out for an infield hit.
Got a pat on the helmet from Cantu. 3rd infield hit for the Cubs. The other 2 were bunt singles. One sent Carlos Zambrano to the showers early with a strained left hamstring. Soto fouls off. Again, Angels and Yankees postponed. Detroit over Cleveland 3-1 a final. The Blue Jays won again 4-3 over the Orioles to improve to 18-9. Tampa Bay beat Boston 5-3. Kansas City leads at Minnesota 6-4 in the ninth. Saw Joe Mauer had 4 more hits last night. Oakland 3, Seattle nothing in the 4th, and the White Sox are in Texas tonight. There it is, the inside. Now you know.
Now you know. Little red rubber ball.
The circle, right?
Yep.
CYRKLE. Fontenot steals second. Chance to add some insurance.
Well, in order to generate all that velocity that Lindstrom gets on his fastball, he uses that high leg kick, a very slow delivery out of the stretch position, and Mike Fondo got himself a good jump over there at first base and just outran John Baker's throw to second.
Two and one. Long pause by Lindstrom. 2-2. Lindstrom was acquired from the Mets prior to 2007 from Rexburg, Idaho. High fly ball for Soto, back toward the wall and caught. Thought that one might go. It would have been his first of the year, but it was caught by Ross on the warning track to the ninth. 6-4 Cubs.
I'm on the journey of a lifetime.
We're pretty much in the clouds.
But the story isn't over. So catch up on what you missed with back-to-back episodes of Around the World for free. Monday nights, a WGN America original.
How can a game this frustrating be this rewarding? And how can a beer this full-flavored be just 99 calories? Budweiser Select, the exception to the rule.
Chic Extreme 3, the only disposable with 3 flexible pivoting blades and 2 conditioning strips for a smooth, comfortable shave. Chic Extreme 3, for your skin.
Hey everybody, check this out. Who wants white meat?
Tradition meets innovation. The surprisingly efficient Ridgeline, built by Hyundai.
Introducing Friday's 9 new sandwiches and salads, like the mouth-watering meatball sandwich and tangy JD chicken sandwich, or our crisp Mediterranean or Shanghai salads for the introductory price of just $5. To celebrate, our entire sandwich and salad menu is now just $5 too. This special price won't last, so hurry in now. Gimme more Fridays.
Conventional wisdom says a full-flavored beer can't be low in calories. Budweiser Select is anything but conventional. Full flavor, 99 calories. Budweiser Select, the exception to the rule.
Joey Gathright comes in for defense to play center. Kosuke Fukudome is over in right, so Milton Bradley out. And closer Kevin Gregg is on. trying to get his second save of the series and only his third on the season. His first one came on opening night in Houston.
And you know he'd love to rack up another one against his former team here on the final game of this series against the Marlins.
A couple of other quick division notes. Ryan Braun was the stiff back, was out of the lineup for Milwaukee, second straight game. And the Cardinals were washed out. Before that happened, Kyle Loesch was scratched because of the wet weather. They never did get it going. He's trying to take a pair of scissors to that baseball core. I'll tell you, I hope Sean is doing the work with his right hand. Oh. Be very careful, please. Oh,
yeah, let a professional do it. Never gone that far. Once you get down to the red rubber ball, I was happy. I thought that was, you know, the center of the earth. I didn't need to see what was inside the red rubber ball.
Please do not try that at home. 2-2 to Cody Ross. Ross glowed, and then Wes Helms for the visitors. They're trying to get somebody on, put the tying run at the plate.
Oh.
That's a good pitch right there, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Tough one to not swing at, and it brings up a 3-2. Count holding. Cubs still have not won a game in which they scored 3 or fewer. They've gotten to 6 today. They're 12-1 when they score at least 4. Another 3-2 pitch in on the hands. That's Glowed on deck. Another strained left hamstring in the division. Astros reliever Doug Brocail had to leave their game in Atlanta. Ground ball up the middle. Miles backhands and throws him out. Gets rid of it very quickly. Always important to get that first out here in the ninth. Get that first batter.
Even if you ask him, Aaron Miles would probably say he doesn't have an exceptionally strong arm, but he gets rid of the ball so quickly and so accurately. He's able to make those plays up the middle of the field. We've seen him turn the double play. Just electric hands.
Strike one on Ross Glowed. He's 0 for 3. Oh, and 2. We started with the wind blowing out. It's now blowing in. Here it is. Still 1-2. Cubs got Greg from Florida in mid-November for right-hander Jose Seda. 64 career saves. All but 3 coming with the Marlins. 32 saves in 07. He had 29 last year. So back-to-back full counts.
The Cubs ought to explore putting a treadmill in that third base dugout. I talked about it the other day. Lou doesn't have very much room to pace down there. He's had a seat now, but he goes about 4 or 5 feet to his left, turns around, comes back 4 or 5 feet to his right. Let's put a nice treadmill. He could walk right there.
Thanks, Sean. This is Soriano in left, and that is the second out. Budweiser play of the game. Derek Lee's go-ahead grand slam. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. That made it 6-2 in the 5th. Greg trying to lead the tying run in the on-deck circle as he faces Wes Helms. 0-1. Cubs have needed 4 innings of relief today after Zambrano got pulled in the bottom of the 5th with a strained left hamstring. He still would qualify for the win. It would be his 99th career win. 2-1 on Helms. And pulled in the left for a base hit. Brings up Bonifacio, and the guy today you don't want to face is the guy on deck, John Baker. He has 3 hits, 1 home run, and almost with 2 home runs.
Yeah, coming into this series, Cantu was probably the guy that you told yourself, I'm not going to let him beat me. Maybe Dan Uggla a close second. But for today, John Baker's been the guy doing all the damage.
Soto's going to go out and chat with Kevin. One stat that's going to have to change, Bob, at some point for Kevin Gregg is he's thrown a lot of pitches. 21 pitches per inning. That's way too high. It's early in the season, but that's not the sort of pace you want to be on for an entire year.
Well, not at all. And a lot of it is because ball 1 rather than strike 1. If you go strike 1 on a hitter, they're more likely to chase a bad pitch if you miss the zone. But if you're ball 1, once again, that's where a hitter narrows down his strike zone. He's going to force you to throw that ball over the plate.
The 1-1 pitch hit well. Kosuke coming over. He's going to dive and catch it. Cubs win. Kosuke not taking any chances, so he left his feet. He helps out Kevin Gregg, and the Cubs win on a special day here at Wrigley. So the Cubs win. They take the final 3 of this series. A couple games over 500. 6-4 the final score. We'll be back in a moment.
Let's go!
Turn on your TV. Tonight to WGN America.
Don't touch that dial.
It's Out of Sight Retro Night. Tonight at 5 East, 2 West. Only on WGN America.
Painting will never be the same. Wagner brings you the only power painter with Optimus dual tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual tip technology only from Wagner. The finish you want, the value you're looking for.
Snapple.
Jim, we found better stuff.
What?
Look at this stuff.
That's good stuff. Natural stuff. Big news, everyone. We found better stuff.
What stuff?
This stuff.
I love that stuff.
I thought we already had the best stuff.
Yeah, but this is better stuff.
It's the new stuff. It's like the same stuff. This stuff's better.
Healthy green tea, tasty black tea, real sugar.
That's the stuff.
The best stuff on earth just got better.
I'm Ozzy Osbourne, and I'm the Prince of Darkness.
The Lich King is the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy.
Well, maybe you're the one who's been riding a crazy train, but I've been the Prince of Darkness since 1979.
There can be only one Prince of Darkness.
World of Warcraft. Try it for free at warcraft.com.
Man, love that drinkability.
Drink what?
Drinkability. It's what makes Bud Light so incredibly refreshing. It's like a wave of refreshment, gently washing over your whole body.
It's getting bigger.
Here comes the refreshment. That almost never happens.
Easy drinking, always refreshing. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
No hard feelings.
When your neighbors ask who does your lawn, just open your garage. Excellent maneuverability. Wide range of cutting decks. And the quality and great price of Craftsman. Innovations, the broadest selection, and better value. No wonder Craftsman is among America's most trusted brands.
If you're like a lot of people, you have high blood pressure and you have high cholesterol. You've taken steps to try and lower both your numbers, but how close are you to your goals? There may be more you can do. Only Catawet combines 2 proven medicines in a single pill to significantly lower high blood pressure and high cholesterol. In a clinical study of patients with slightly elevated blood pressure and cholesterol, Catawet helped 48% reach both goals in just 4 weeks.
Catawit is one of many treatment options, in addition to diet and exercise, that you can discuss with your doctor. Catawit is not for everyone. It's not for people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. To check for liver problems, you need simple blood tests. Tell your doctor about any heart problems and all other medications you are taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect.
How close are you to where you want to be? Ask your doctor if Catawit can help you go for both your goals.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Bud Light. With just the right taste that never fills you up, the difference is drinkability. The Illinois Lottery. Play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. Comcast. Catch more games in HD on Comcast Digital Cable. Call 1-888 for Best TV today. By Pepsi. Every generation refreshes the world. Visit refresheverything.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Travel Southwest Airlines for business and get where you need to go on time. Visit southwest.com today.
For the Cubs, 6 runs, 9 hits, couple of errors, 4 left for Florida. 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, and 6 stranded. The winning pitcher, Carlos Zambrano, he's 3-1, 99 career wins per Z. He'll go for number 100 next time out, hopefully on time after the hamstring injury. Nolasco takes the loss, Greg the save, and we will have Cubs baseball coming up tomorrow night on WCIU and Cubsnet when the Cubs host the Giants. Our coverage starts at 7 o'clock Central Time. Our next WGN broadcast of Cubs baseball. Friday night, we're back in Milwaukee. Coverage starts at 7. Once again, our final score today. The Cubs 6. The Marlins 4. What a special day. Fergie and Greg having their number 31 retired. Stay tuned. We have more coming up. The 10th inning show is next.
If you look at the last 6 months, I think you'll agree that the production growth opportunity that we have for us with What is that?
That's the money you could be saving with Geico.
Tell me who's watching.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It's good to get away.
What is this?
This is a travel napping, and I want you to stop wasting your money.
We got a good deal.
I can find a better deal than that in my sleep, if I slept. At Priceline, you can name your own price and save up to half off on hotels.
That's way less than Expedia.
Negotiation accomplished.
TV.
Oh, a TV.
Turn on your TV.
Turn it on.
Tonight to WGN America.
Shh, it's starting.
Don't touch that dial.
Because we brought back America's favorite shows.
Simple, uncluttered television with heart.
We celebrate what makes classic TV classic.
If we're going to watch anything, it's got to be something that we agree on.
It's Out of Sight Retro Night.
The calls to the station have been fantastic.
Tonight at 5 East, 2 West. Only on WGN America.
Time for the 10th inning shows. The Cubs win this series, taking 3 of 4 from the Florida Marlins. 6-4 the final. The Cubs improved to 13-11 in the division, 3.5 back of St. Louis. We'll have our Culver's sweet defensive play of the game next.
Hi. What can I get for $1?
That's yours.
How far can I get with this?
You can get out.
How tan can I get for this? That's it? Hi. What can I get for this?
How about crispy, juicy chicken with all the amenities and an irresistible classic known fondly as the McChicken? Huh?
Wow.
Now more than ever, McDonald's Dollar Menu.
Does your mouthwash work in 6 different ways? Introducing Listerine Total Care. Everything you need to strengthen teeth, help prevent cavities, and kill germs. Introducing 6-in-1 Listerine Total Care, the most complete mouthwash.
Mom, I'm on an allergy medicine that won't make me drowsy. Children's Claritin Chewables? I relieve allergy symptoms without making you drowsy. And grape tastes awesome.
It's the #1 pediatrician recommended non-drowsy brand. Let your kids live Claritin Clear.
When your neighbors ask who does your lawn, just open your garage. Excellent maneuverability. Wide range of cutting decks. And the quality and great price of Craftsman. Innovations, the broadest selection, and better value. No wonder Craftsman is among America's most trusted brands.
The 10th inning is brought to you by Culver's. Come into Culver's for a great treat and get Culverized.
Let's check in on our Culver's sweet defensive play of the game. Couple of them by Kosuke Fukudome. We're going to go with the one in center. Nice running grab as Dan Ugla picked up a sac fly, but Bob, the bases were loaded on that play.
To avoid any further damage.
Thank you, Culver's. Come into Culver's and get
The 10th inning is brought to you by Culver's. Come into Culver's for a great treat and get Culverized.
Chic Extreme 3, the only disposable with 3 flexible pivoting blades and 2 conditioning strips for a smooth, comfortable shave. Chic Extreme 3, for your skin.
Does your mouthwash work in 6 different ways? Introducing Listerine Total Care. Everything you need to strengthen teeth, help prevent cavities, and kill germs. Introducing 6-in-1 Listerine Total Care, the most complete mouthwash.
As your love has evolved, so have your gifts. From I like you, I really like you. I love you. I will always love you. And sometimes a gift says you mean more to me than anything else in the world. Life insurance from New York Life ensures your loved ones will always be taken care of. With 164 years of financial strength, it's the most selfless gift you can give. New York Life, the company you keep.
Let's get ready for this morning's quiz. Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue
in 1492.
Nice.
Follow me. The Missouri River's this way.
Lewis and Clark, expedition of 1804.
Oh, he'll never get this.
Magellan, 1520.
Oh, my 8 players must have given it away.
A clinical study showed kids who ate a filling breakfast of Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheat cereal had 23% better quality of memory when compared to kids who missed out on breakfast. Help your kids succeed in school by searching Mini Wheats on MSN.com.
The 10th inning has been brought to you by Culver's. Come into Culver's for a great treat and get Culverized.
For the Cubs today, 6 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors, 4 left, 4 Florida, 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, 6 left. Zambrano over Nolasco, Greg the save, 2 hours and 51 minutes in front of over 40,000 here at Wrigley Field. Well, a lot to talk about today, but let's go with Derek Lee. Hit the big grand slam. That's 2 homers in the last 2 days for D. Lee.
Yeah, starting to show some signs of rediscovering that power that he exhibited so often in past years, and that would be huge. Lou said all the way back in spring training, the key to our team offensively was going to be the corner infielders. Derek Lee starting to flex his muscles.
We haven't heard from Lou Piniella yet, but hopefully we'll have the report tomorrow night for you on WCIU and Cubsnet regarding Carlos Zambrano. His next start is supposed to be Friday, and we'll see.
Well, we'll see. Certainly, you hope it's nothing very serious. Carlos has been a fast healer in the past, and hopefully, we mentioned during the telecast a hydration problem, maybe just some cramps.
All right, tomorrow night it'll be 7 o'clock, Game 1, Giants and the Cubs. Ryan Dempster will be on the mound for the Cubs. Left-hander Jonathan Sanchez on Cubsnet. And then we'll greet you again on WGN Sports Friday night, Game 1 of a big weekend series, Cubs and the Brewers from Milwaukee. Great day here at Wrigley Field. Awesome pregame ceremony. Number 31 retired. Then the Cubs beat the Marlins 6-4 the final. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody.